Dorageris! Naidon Mevatai! Geleti! Zadrizes Gustaris Costaur.
It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie. But what do we have left once we abandon the lie? Chaos. A gaping pit waiting to swallow us all. Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
How you doing, guys? My name's Ryan. Welcome to episode 7, council meeting number 7. That's right. We are here. We have made it to the penultimate episode. Next week is the finale of season 2 of House of the Dragon. And I cannot believe that we're already here. What an episode that was. This episode just, some of the shots in it were amazing. And if you haven't already, one of Milky's top tips, like you might watch this show with family on the big TV. I would suggest you watch this episode with headphones on, because the noises that you get from the dragons is just unreal. And yeah, it just spine tingling how good this episode was to me, by sound design, by location, by everything. It was just such a good fucking episode. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. There's 8 of you in the chat tonight. As we're already starting 3 minutes in, do you know how grateful I am to have all of you here waiting for me and waiting for my thoughts and my council's thoughts? And that's right, my council will be completed this evening. Or will it? We'll get straight to it, shall we? Let me check the chat and we'll flip over. Corey says, hi everyone. Fidel says, this fucking episode was epic. Let's go. Umpty says, howdy everybody. People are talking amongst themselves. Mitchie is in the chat saying, hi everyone. Good to see you, Mitchie. Poppy Missouri is in the chat as well. Good evening, small folk. And LSAPC saying good evening. Let's go. Fidel says, I watched this episode in my friend's pad with 16 speakers in his living room. Oh, that would have been amazing. Yeah, I probably would have wet myself. Like, probably. And it probably wouldn't have stunk of dragon piss either. So, yeah, unfortunately. I think that's probably how Ulf got away with it, rolling around in dragon piss. I don't know. But guys, we're going to get straight into it. I do have 2 council members joining me this evening. We're going to be talking all about the show. We're going to be having a chat. We got slides, just under 100, I think. I want to thank HBO as well. I'm getting more and more each week. I don't know if that's how it works or if that everybody's got access to them, but I'm getting more 4K crystal clear images. So I'm really, really appreciative of HBO and Max, although you still need to sign into the damn app so I can watch the thing. But guys, without further ado, let's please welcome our council members to the chat. You'll know him, you'll love him, from Missouri. He's my brother from another mother. Please welcome Charles from Poppin in the Show Me State, or Poppin, Missouri. How you doing, brother?
I am great, dude. I'm great. This episode was okay. It'll do till next week for sure.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you've kicked me off already. How you doing, sir? How's your week been? Thank you for joining. Thank you for attending Council Meeting 7.
Of course. Where else would I be? Member of the council, got to be here. I don't got to be here, but I am. Loving the show. Yeah, as somebody said in the chat earlier, it was epic for sure. So,
It was, wasn't it?
It
was so good. I know you're a busy guy. How many times did you have a chance to watch it? Just the once last night? Or?
Just the once, yeah.
Okay. Understandable. I know you're a busy guy. Right, let's get on to it, shall we? We've got another guest to bring on. Guys, you all know him. He's here, there, and everywhere in Missouri, it seems. Please welcome Jeremy from LSAPC. How you doing, my friend?
Good. What to do?
Good to see you. How's your week been?
Pleasure to be here. It's good. Nothing exciting.
Awesome. What do you think What do you think to episode 7 of House of the Dragon season 2?
So, to your point, I watched it once yesterday on my TV at home in the basement, and then I came here and I just watched it before the live. But I watched it on my phone with earbuds, and it's an entirely different show. I went from a 2.5 million out of 10 to a 3 million out of 10.
Especially this episode. Especially this episode. Usually I watch with my headset on, but now that I've got these earbuds, it was insane. That was like I was in the dragon pit with the dragons.
It's kind of scary.
Really cool. It was kind of scary. Yeah, it really was. I loved it. So let's give our scores now for anybody that's early in. This can be cut into TikTok as well. So I gave it, a 10 out of 10. I'll be to the point. I know 2.5 million out of 10 technically doesn't work, but 10 out of 10 for me.
You're right, it doesn't. I got a better one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, last week I gave it a 15 out of 10, so I have to at least go better than that at a 16 out of 10.
Okay. And Charles, what about you?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
10
out of 10.
I don't see how they can get better, but they're going to. We all know they are going to. So.
Yeah, the finale hurts though. The finale hurts because it's the last one in a while.
Yeah.
Yes. Fidel says, Milky, I'm sorry, but I did have time. No, I did not have time. Okay, yeah, there was a booth at SDCC, and Fidel was at SDCC. There was a booth with some actual figurines from some Game of Thrones things, House of the Dragon things, and I sent it to him. Just didn't get a chance to see it. Yep. Mitchie underscores 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Is that leaving room for improvement for next week for 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I think that's where she's at, because on earlier episodes when I was giving 10 out of 10s, she was giving 7 out of 10s for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
I did.
And next week could be a massive one for Mitchie.
Yeah.
She may go 10 and a half or 10 and a quarter. I don't know. Or she might give it a 2.
Yeah. What were you going to say then, Charles?
The only gripe I have about the episode is when they were in the pit with the dragon, it reminded me of my wedding too much. That's the only thing I got to gripe about.
Hiding behind rocks with blonde women?
Yeah, and flashbacks, yeah. Fire-breathing women,
Okay. Love it. Well, you said fire breathing, so that's a good enough segue as ever. Let's do dragon talk, shall we? I know Jeremy put in the chat last night, how many is it? What is it against? So here are all the dragons on the left-hand side that are Team Green, and all the dragons on the right-hand side, bar the bottom 3, of course, basically Team Black. But that's not just one slide that I'm going to show you. I do have detailed stuff, so we'll go into it a little bit more. We've got Cyrax, is ridden by Rhaenyra. Cyrax has only ever been ridden by Rhaenyra, so Cyrax is one of the younger dragons. Daemon rides the dragon Caraxes, who was previously ridden by Aemon Targaryen, who is the father of Rhaenys Targaryen. So the connections there. Jace rides the dragon Vermax, who has only ever ridden by Jace. Vermax is a very young dragon. Moondancer has only ever been ridden by Baelor. Moondancer is also a very young dragon. Tyraxes is bonded to Joffrey. In the books at this point, Tyraxes is large enough to be ridden, and Joffrey in the books is very keen to join the war, but Rhaenyra convinces him to stay at the Vale and be safe. Stormcloud, little baby, bonded to Aegon the Younger.
Mitch was so mad we didn't get to see him again.
Yeah.
This is how you do the merch properly, Disney, if you're listening. Make little dragons like this that everybody falls in love with, that they all want. Here we have Vermithor. Vermithor was ridden by Jaehaerys Targaryen and was only ever ridden by Jaehaerys Targaryen. So Hugh is its second rider. Vermithor was living in a mostly peaceful time with King Jaehaerys. Vermithor was involved in one short war called the Fourth Dornish War, in which Vermithor and some other dragons burned a whole bunch of Dornish people. That's about it. Vermithor doesn't have the same experience of battle that Vhagar has. Silverwing was ridden by Queen Alysanne. Silverwing, I don't think, has ever been in a fight. Silverwing didn't even join in the Dornish War that previously mentioned with Vermithor. Silverwing has no experience of battle off the top of my head. Silverwing has been around, though. Silverwing went to the north and visited the Wall, and in the books and in the show, that was mentioned in episode 1, when they said that the dragons turned around at the Wall and they wouldn't fly past it. That was King Jaehaerys and his wife Alysanne. That's the dragon Silverwing that Ulf is now riding. Seasmoke, his rider is now Adam of Hull. Seasmoke was ridden by Laenor Velaryon, Rhaenyra's ex-husband. Seasmoke fought in the Stepstones, so Seasmoke does have some battle experience. We saw a bit of that in season 1. Now Seasmoke is being ridden by Adam of Hull. Silverwing is beautiful, Corey. I agree. Beautiful dragon. They're all beautiful. The cannibal is mysterious. Nobody quite knows where the cannibal came from. Some people claim that the cannibal existed in Westeros before the Targaryens did, which I personally think is untrue, because that would make cannibal the biggest and oldest dragon in the world, and it doesn't seem to be true. The cannibal is powerful and mysterious and eats other dragons, so it's scary, and I wonder if anyone would be brave enough to try and claim a cannibal. You know I already know, so that's why I put that little line there. Grey Ghost is elusive, likes to eat fish. We do not know much about its history. Sheep Stealer is brown, likes to eat sheep, and we do not know much about its history. Although, in the books, there is a character that has been omitted from the show called Nettles. Nettles does claim a sheep stealer, but it has been said that parts of her story have been given to another character and other parts have been given to other characters. So it's interesting what they're doing with that kind of character. Now we're on to the greens. Sunfire has only ever ridden Aegon, or Aegon rides Sunfire, rather, however you want to put it. He was drunk that time he went on it, so yeah. Here, there, or everywhere. Vhagar was previously ridden first by Queen Visenya Targaryen in Aegon's Conquest, and that's why Vhagar has all the experience of war. And then Vhagar was ridden by Baelon Targaryen, the father of Viserys and Daemon, and then Vhagar was ridden by Laena Velaryon, who we saw in season 1. Vhagar ended up burning Laena, suicide by dragon, and now Aemond Targaryen rides Vhagar. So Vhagar has had many riders, unlike most of the other dragons. You have Dreamfire, has only ever been ridden by Helaena, although we've never actually seen it. HBO, you actually fucking listening? I want to see Dreamfire flying in the sky with Helaena on her back, please. Tessarion is now ridden by Daeron, who we have had mention of in the show. Blue Electric Dragon, I'm anticipating how they're going to pull that one off stylistically. It's the most anticipated dragon I'm looking forward to seeing. But it's a small dragon, so we'll see. So most of these dragons have only ever been ridden by 1 or 2 riders, which is interesting. Now this brings us on to a very important matter.
There was a question in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Oh, popping in the Show Me State says, if you could ride any dragon, which one would it be? So we'll get back to the very important pressing matter at hand in a second.
Sorry.
No, you're very good. You're very good. Don't you worry. This can be a question to everybody in the chat and everyone on the panel, but I will go first. The dragon that I would like to ride. I'm going to say Caraxes, the Bloodworm. It's the most unique looking, it's the most unique sounding, and it's the most badass looking. Yes, please. That's mine. Jeremy, where would you go?
I think I would have said. Why am I drunk? Who's the biggest dragon?
Vermithor. Vhagar.
Oh, Vhagar. Thank you. Jeez. I would have said Vhagar until I saw this episode, and Vermithor 1000%.
Okay.
That dragon is.
I like it. Charles, where would you go? You posed the question to everybody, but where would you go?
I'm going to go Cannibal because he just seems like a long shot out there, and I'm kind of nuts anyways. And I do have a weird thing about serial killers. So, yeah.
Richie says Vermithor because he has the cutest smile. Like that one. Hannibal for Fidel.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charles.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
She says, by the time we see it, it won't be a small dragon long. Love it. Thank you for the question. That's what we like. Feel free, guys, in the chat to throw the questions out. But we will go here. So we do have the council meeting attendees and appointees to give position to. We do have Sir Fidel, Master of Laws. He was appointed his position last week because he had to go to SDCC, and I didn't want him to miss out. So yes, welcome to your first council or second council meeting, Fidel. I agree, Popping. Cannibal can be a horror movie villain. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He could have his own series, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to move to the next slide, and the next slide is going to reveal the next council member. If by any chance, if any of you don't want the council seat, please feel free to say in the chat you don't want it, and we will abandon the live stream and come back next week. But without further ado, please welcome, I think it's my Master of Whispers, Sir Corey. Welcome in, Corey. You have a seat. Thank you, my friend. You are my Master of Whispers. I like that you are here late. That's why I gave you the Whisperers, because it's late in the UK for you. So I know that you have to be quiet because it's late at home and you don't want to wake people up. So that was the Whisperers. Yeah, that's how you got that one. The coolest one. Oh, I appreciate it. I hope people weren't going to be offended by these. We'll see. We'll see. Welcome in, Corey. Thank you. Next up, shall we? I think it's my Master of Coin. It's Francis. I don't think Francis is here right now.
I don't think so, no.
Which is fine. You know,
you couldn't have made me Master of Coin because I'd have had to be the Master of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about it. I thought it was too easy to put me Master of Coin. Yeah, I thought it was too easy, and so I didn't do that. But yeah, so if people do know who Francis is, unfortunately I don't. I've been blessed with Francis's attendance here every single week for the last 6 weeks. They found me through this stuff, and they've been here as a loyal fan all the way through. So it was only right that I gave them a seat, and I'm sure they'll catch the live stream at some point. So welcome in, Francis. Yeah, you will. Thank you. Welcome in.
Welcome.
I think the next one is Commander of the Kingsguard. Yeah, this one's interesting. You ready? I went different here. It's oh no, it's not. It's Grand Maester. It's Sir Jeremy.
Oh, Sir Jeremy.
Yeah, I flipped up on that one. Jeremy, you are Grand Maester.
I will serve my best.
Mm-hmm. So I genuinely gave you the Grand Maester because you are a man of many trades. A jack of none. What is it? What's the phrase?
I am an expert at. I can't remember, but I am a jack of all trades. Yes.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
Good at everything, great at nothing.
Yeah, a Grand Maester's opinion is very widely respected and honoured, and I feel like you would have a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. So yeah, that's where I went with that one. You are my Grand Maester. I hope you accept that one.
I do, and I will be writing the book, as Umpty has pointed out.
Awesome. Yeah, but at SCPC, time to write a book from your point of view. Love it. Next one up, I'm guessing, is Commander of the Kingsguard, and it's the first ever lady Commander of the Kingsguard, and it's Lady Mitchie.
Nice.
We have Mitchie as our Commander of the Kingsguard. As I said last week, I left a little hint. Nobody would want to mess with my Kingsguard.
That's a fact. You don't want to cross that one.
No.
So yeah, Mitchie has an official seat at the council.
Jeremy's only safe saying this because he's like 3 hours away from her right now. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, love it. So that just leaves one position left, or technically two. Lady Commander of Kingsguard. That's correct, Fidel. That's what we have.
Very cool.
Now I'm going to have to call her Lady Commander around the house.
I'm not dying like Cole going to thank you.
No, there is a master of the Kingsguard, Commander of the Kingsguard on Team Black as well. That's not going to die, right? Kind of.
Possibly. Yeah. So that leaves one position, or technically two, as you can see here. Although we don't have a little We don't have a little white square over Master of Ships because that will be explained in due course. But my Hand of the King could only go to one person and one person only, and it's Sir Charles. So thank you, Charles, for being my Hand of the King. And as I have a task that I put to all of my council members. So I put to you to select my final council member amongst yourselves for my Master of Ships. This position will forever be selected by my members of the council. So it'll be I will not have a say in this. It'll be my members' council choice only. Seats are subject to change up into season 3, episode 2. That'll give you 2 weeks' notice to catch up to what I'm doing with my streams again and get back in. And if you are a council member, you retain your seat as long as you're here. As it says there in brackets, to keep your seat, you only need to attend council meetings. If you can't make it for any reason, let me know, of course. But I get it, because I will try and work these live streams around my council members, and I will be testing them on things and having fun with it. So yeah, thank you, council members. I appreciate you all. And I will put it up to you guys to select by next week. Reach out to me on Instagram, or if you all want to reach out amongst yourselves and then come up with a decision and give it to my Hand of the King, and he will deliver the message to me as is due fit with the show. So yeah, that is the end of Dragon Time. I want to thank everybody for your patience. We've been 21 minutes in. That's not a bad thing. Everyone has now got their seats. I feel a weight is lifted off my shoulders. I don't have to do anything anymore. Mitchie's protecting me. No one's going to fight. Charles, you're my Hand of the King. The pin is in the post.
Does that mean I need to rub your feet?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
Yeah. Just don't go sleeping with no princesses.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to have to get Jeremy a chain and some robes.
Oh, it's happening.
Don't worry.
It's happening. It's happening. So I'm going to leave it to my council this week. We're going to switch it up. I have 100 slides where we're going to talk about the episode and we're going to go through it and we're going to have a decent discussion. But then I also have Meme of the Week. So what do you want to go first with?
I think the slides first. I think the memes are fun for the end.
For the end?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Corey, I love you. And I love your photograph. I had to take a double take because I thought it was Natalie Tina Tonks from Harry Potter. And I realised it's actually Helena from the sneak peek next week.
Whoa.
Let us save memes of the week at the end. Okay. So let's go for it, shall we? Episode 7, Dragon Seeds, the Red Sowing. Whew. All right, let's do this. We open up from last week with Rhaenyra, and she rushed away on her dragon. Guys, again, please feel free to just jump in as I'm going through this. I'm just going to go off this verbatim. I've seen the episode 3 or 4 times today, so I should be all right with it. Yeah, we see them at the beach. This is a shot that we saw in the trailer at the very beginning of this season, and I was anticipating this for a long time. I think they spent a lot of money on the budget here with these 2 dragons. They look absolutely fantastic. And again, the sound design. Sea Smoke and Cyrax know each other and have been around each other for a long time. You got to remember, that was Rhaenyra and Laenor, and they were husband and wife. So they've been around each other, and the dragons have as well. So it was like we were having a confrontation of 2 people and the 2 dragons again. It was a very interesting segment, and I absolutely loved it. And knowing that it was filmed in Wales, in the UK, just a chef's kiss, because it's home soil. We have a badass picture here of Rhaenyra. Guys, please feel free, if any of you want any of these images, reach out to me on Instagram. I have them all. I can send them to you. Or, cheap little plug, if you want to sign up to my Thrones and Swords over on Buy Me a Coffee, it's only £5 a month. You get early access to the Meme of the Week, the Slide of the Week, Dragon Time, all that kind of stuff, and also exclusive content over there. We've already got 2 members, so yeah, they're getting content early, and you guys aren't, and you're missing out, so definitely check it out. Yeah, back to this. Rhaenyra was on the beach, and she is questioning Adam. Who are you? You are a stranger on foreign land. You have a Targaryen dragon behind you. What's going on? And he says, I'm Adam of Hull. Nice to meet you. I want to learn how to be a dragon rider. Like, pretty badass, right? and he bends the knee quite quickly, I must say. But it even looks like Cyrax is not Cyrax. Sea Smoke is kind of bending here to the Queen as well, which I quite like. That even the dragons recognize royalty and recognize their queen. Let me check on the chat because it's flying, and I really appreciate all of you. Jeremy, the master of crypto coin, write a book. Yeah, we've been, yeah. Love this. Let's just save me the week. Jeremy thinks he's a Google doctor. He can take care of.
That's right. I can take care of all the things, and I will teach the history to the children of the house.
Nice.
He is the Grand Maester that made WebMD, just so everyone knows. Yes, definitely.
First 5 seconds of this scene was intense. It was, Corey. I agree. Fidel, sorry. Adam is so cool. I love his character. Yeah, he's a screen favorite. A lot of people like him. I think if you remember me, guys, I showed you. It was a meme that we found on Instagram. It was, can these House of the Dragon characters find the G spot? Well, we have a part 3 that we can play.
Fantastic. I do have a question.
House of the Dragon.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I do. I'm sorry. The question about this slide relates to another part in this episode, but do Corlys? Okay, so when Laenor left, were Corlys and Rhaenyra under the impression that he died, or are they just now? Okay, so they're not just now coming to terms with if he's claimed another rider, then it's confirmation that Laenor's dead. That's only us.
Yeah, Corlys and Rhaenys are were always under the impression that Rhaenyra and Daemon had killed their son.
Gotcha. Okay.
And obviously Rhaenyra and Daemon knew otherwise. But yeah, it's a weird sore subject with this, because if you weren't going to kill him and you were going to take that choice, then you messed up here with this. Because in my opinion, as a Game of Thrones fan, you cannot bond with another dragon unless the rider is dead. But they are kind of changing it here, where it's like if you are departed, and you saw that the dragon chose him, so it's different, and maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't have all the answers because they are changing it. So
sure.
Yeah. I will play that meme that I said. Can these characters find the G spot?
Could this House of the Dragon character find the G spot? Part 3. Hugh Hammer. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people think he got the name Hammer because he's a blacksmith, right? And his like weapon of choice is like a war hammer. But I don't think that's the hammer they're talking about. You know, I don't think it's the hammer he made as a blacksmith. I think it's the hammer he brings into the bedroom, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be, yeah. And his growl towards Vermithor. Okay. Yeah, I think he's a girl's guy. And I can see him and Otto like fighting at dinner over like the greatest athlete of all time. And Otto's like, obviously it's Tom Brady. And Gwen's like, it's Simone Biles, you sexist pig. You know what I mean? And then I can see that translating into his relationships. Am I a little biased because he's a ginger? Yes. Do I think I'm right? Yes. Sorry, that's Voldemort. Wrong pick. It is going to be a yes for Aemond, but only because he was literally trained by a professional. I don't think he was like born with the gift. I think he is studious. And he followed the coursework, and she taught him things. And I think he's really into some kinky stuff that I personally, I think, would be scared of. But it is a yes. But only because of her.
She gets better and better.
I think that's Kenzie Ryan on Instagram. I do have permission to share those. I did reach out and ask, and she said more than happy to share them on streams. Any exposure is all exposure, she said. So yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Give her a follow on Instagram because they are hilarious. So yeah, I think she likes Adam. I think she said in the second episode that she liked Adam as well. So yeah, he's a handsome, strapping young man.
Yes.
We cut to King's Landing, and we have Alicent, and she is basically talking with Melos. I just want to give a round of applause to Melos. Like, he is an MVP of this show. He is so helpful, always in the right place, doing the right thing, just being a credit to the realm. And he might be on the wrong side. We all think he's on the wrong side, but he's doing the right thing regardless of what's going on around him. And I just want to give him a round of applause, and people in the chat show your appreciation for Melos because he's such a good character. But yeah, speaking of complete opposites, Alicent is not a good character. She's a terrible, terrible character. And now she's just I don't know. Feels like she's running away from everything that she caused. That's just the feeling I get. You know, she's like, this place is not clean. Yeah, that's because you're a dirty hoe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on her.
Yeah, it's on her.
Yeah.
It's like she's
It's
giving up,
definitely on her.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, feel free to play a game in the chat as well, whether you think this is a HBO image provided or Milky screenshot, because some of them I took screenshots and some of them I didn't, and I'm like, which one's mine, which one isn't? Here we see Sir Rickard. At this point, I thought Alicent was choosing a new bedfellow. Because she goes through him in the castle quite a lot, doesn't she? And she just wanted to go with this guy into the woods on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a bit interesting. Alicent is boring me as well, Corey. I completely agree.
Maybe he's hoping. Maybe he's just wishing.
Yeah, he's like, I can get your handmaidens. And she's like, no handmaidens. Oh, I can get your consorts. No consorts, just me and you. And he must have been thinking, let's go. She's going to get a UTI or an STD from that. Yeah, maybe with his filthy hands with his meat. I thought she was much like the older one. Yeah, there you go. A lot of people thought the same thing. So maybe that was designed that way. I like it. We get a very interesting conversation in the courtyard with Larys and Jasper Ironrod. For those that are reading the book, I won't spoil it too much, but George R. R. Martin has a fascination with phalluses and things like that throughout his storyline. And yeah, Jasper Orwyle is Jasper Hot Rod Orwyle. And yeah, you'll find out when you read the books. It's good. I like it, but very interesting conversation. So Jasper finds out some information about Sea Smoke has gained a new rider. He finds it out through his friend's dad's father, who was a fisherman. It was a very Chinese whispers kind of thing. And Larys was not having any of it. Larys was like, yeah, if you want to take that information to Aegon, feel free, but I probably wouldn't, you know? Larys is very interesting. This is clearly a HBO image. Look how good that image is. The costume design. What do you think to the costume design in this season, Jeremy? It's stepped up a big mark, haven't they?
It just goes back to every detail. They put so much effort into every single detail, from the costumes, from the colors, just every background scene, everything. There's like the quickest, briefest moment of that guy snatching that thing off the wall, and it's basically a Team Black with a red X through it. I mean, it's like, but you don't catch the things unless you rewatch it or you slow it down, or it's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I totally agree.
Nice, Charles. You both know, and everybody knows, I'm a massive fan of this franchise and all this, but it just gets better for me, because Game of Thrones was okay for what it was, but I never had the love of Comic-Cons at that time, and I never had, I didn't know some of the cosplayers that I now know, and I inspire to want to cosplay. And I've been growing a beard for a long time because I wanted to do Tiny Tormund, but then I met Hugh Hammer, and I could probably pull off a good Hugh Hammer, so maybe stay tuned for that one. Christina Payne is in the chat. Let's go. Good to see you, Christina Payne. Thanks for being here. She's peeking through her eyes. She must be scared of dragons. They're not that scary, although Blaze would probably tell you differently.
Fake.
Did the tapestry change? I don't know. Did the tapestry change?
Perhaps Prince Damon would care for a tour of the gallery. He hasn't yet seen the new tapestries gifted to you by Norbus and Cohor.
Would you like to see the tapestry?
Would you like to see the tapestry?
You had
Mitchie,
that so
Mitchie,
ready.
you triggered it. Yeah, I did, didn't I? Mitchie triggered it. So no, the tapestry didn't change this week. Although, I don't know if I'm correct in saying, I'll have to go back and check. I think they might be taking things out of it to make it because otherwise it's going to be a 10-minute intro.
Sure.
So I do think they're taking bits out and just making it like a solid 2-minute thing, but I could be completely wrong. Y'all were ready for that. No, I've been streaming for 4 years and I'm getting used to it, Mitchie. Yeah, so the answer to the tapestry question is no, they didn't change it, but I do believe they will change it next week to incorporate the dragon seeds, and they may show that. I think we'll see the dragon seeds on the tapestry next week, because that is a publicly known thing, which we're going to talk about this week. Another HBO provided shot. This is so good. Looks like an actual damn castle. Laris and Jasper a while again talking on the top. Here we see Aegon's appointed Knights Guards having their cloaks removed by Aemond for starting a riot last week and chopping that person's arm off for no apparent reason, just being completely uncontrollable and absolutely terrible at their jobs. Aemond is making them go to the wall. I really liked this little part of nugget of information. It was keeping the North relevant. It was keeping what is beyond the wall relevant without pushing it down our throats with the Song of Ice and Fire prophecy and all that, and the dagger and you know, Jason. I don't know. It was just nice to see, because he could have just beheaded them. He's that kind of guy, you know. So yeah, I wonder if we'll actually see the wall. Because remember, we did see earlier in this season that we learned about the wall, that it was an honor of that house, and 12 of the people were sent from that house to serve the wall from the Starks. But now here we're seeing that people are being punished, and their punishment is to go to the wall. So it's still receiving people like that, which is good to know. I wonder how long time changed. One of my favourite lines from Laris here is, perhaps this is one of those whispers best left to the wind. I wonder if that was just a kick in the teeth to everybody waiting for George to finish his book. Winds of Winter, Whispers in the Wind.
Could be.
That's what I took from it. As soon as he said it, I was like, that's such a good line. But then I gasped. I was like, oh. Yeah, Laris is becoming one of my favourite characters in this show. And again, he's so regal with his clothes. I love it. You know, he comes from damn Harrenhal. We've seen what that place looks like, and he walks around looking like this. You know, there's definitely a showmanship going on, I would say, with Laris. Cool guy. That's what I said. Something changed.
Oh.
I keep calling Dragon Seeds the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, she does. She does. She didn't. She just kept calling it that, and I finally pointed out that was a Game of Thrones reference and not a House of the Dragon. Now, Laris, I wouldn't trust, as much as I love his character. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Yeah, his Littlefinger 2.0.
Yeah.
And just to point out Mitchie's point here, the Battle of Bastards. Technically, they are all bastards in the Dragon Seed line trying to battle against each other to claim a dragon. So you're not wrong, but you're also not right. It's The Battle of the Bastards was the one with Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton, and Theon runs in a straight line instead of zigzagging. Mark that as a note, because we might come on to that in a couple of weeks. Let's carry on. Oh, yeah, Ser Celtigar. This guy does my head in every single week. Like, he's a noble lord, and I get it. I get you're a noble lord, bro, but what the fuck have you done in this show apart from just moan and whinge and do nothing? And he, you know, we find out that Adam and Rhaenyra get on, and we find out that it's somebody from Corlys' shipyard. A lowborn cannot go around seizing dragons, says Celtigar, while Jace is in the background listening, being a manipulative or malleable ear for people older than him and wiser than him, because he kind of takes similar stuff to his mother later on. I wonder where that was supplanted. Here we have Baela. She hasn't done anything for 2 episodes. Like, you know, this is what happens when you mess with the story, guys. She has a dragon called Moondancer who is the size of a horse that isn't supposed to be ridden right now. And you put her on a dragon and you made her ride this thing, and now she has nothing to do in the storyline. You mess with Ken, it falls apart.
This season's been very odd because, unlike Game of Thrones, where as soon as you love a character, they die, this is as soon as you love a character, they just disappear into the unknown, don't do anything, kind of lose track of them, or they slightly start to slide back down the hill to where you don't much care for them anymore. So there's a lot of those characters. Two or three weeks ago, I was saying she's my favorite character on the show. The way she handled her dad, and during when she handed him the hand, she was my favorite. Now I don't.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Now it's like, why is she even there?
Yeah. But her outfit is stunning again. So
Yeah, her herself is stunning. Such a beautiful actress, and her and Jace are the it couple. They are brilliant in this show, but they just seem to be on the back burner right now. She has got more to do in the story, though, so don't lose faith if she is one of your favourite characters. She does have some stuff to do in the finale, and going forward, hopefully. Charles, which one do you like more, Baylor or Rayna?
Oh, man. Neither? Baylor, I think.
Baylor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see why.
I love
She's
the
more like
potential
Rhaenys.
story. Yeah, I love the potential storyline of Rhaena, but I don't know where it's going to go yet. I have thoughts of what's going to happen, and if it does, I think she's going to be awesome. But if it doesn't, I don't know where she goes from here. Goes to Pentos and raises the kids and comes back after the war.
Yeah. Eat some sheep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see, I guess. Corey, I remember Rhaena more. I prefer Rhaena more.
Yeah.
Christina Payne asking everybody to remember to hit that thumbs up, dragon thumbs up. Yep, definitely, guys. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying this kind of content.
Do dragons have thumbs?
I'd have to ask George R. R. Martin about that because he got really upset that they added legs. So
Oh, yeah.
They got real pointy elbows. They can work it out.
They do.
Can hit it.
Jace asks a very good question. Where is the Queen? Where is she? This is a council meeting and she is not here. This is like Ryan Milky going live on a Monday night and me not being here and you guys having to just wing it, and like I didn't provide you with a slideshow, I didn't provide you with Dragon Talk, and you just gotta do it. I wonder how that would do. Maybe we'll try it one week. Maybe I'll fly off on my dragon somewhere. But Jace isn't happy. He just wants to know where his mother is. Then we have quite a comical scene with Mysaria, and she's talking with Rhaenyra. I find it very interesting that that's where Rhaenyra went first. She went to Mysaria first with this information that she has about Adam. It's very, very interesting for me. Concerning also with, again, changing canon. I just don't know what they're going to do with this show, so we will see in the coming weeks and years. But Mysaria does say, when she is talking about what is she going to do with these dragon seeds, she thought that the blood was okay for Sir Darkland last week, but it must have just been a little bit thinner. And she's stressing over it. And Mysaria laughs and says, "You'd be better served looking under the sheets and wood piles. Like, I know of 40 scores, which I believe is 40 times 20, because I think a score is 20. So 40 times 20, that's a lot of people she knows that have Targaryen blood and are of the small folk that live amongst everybody. She's been part of brothels and she has seen it all. And she says, that's where you've got to go, Rhaenyra. That's what you've got to do to find people to ride these dragon seeds." Very interesting storyline. How do you feel about that, Jeremy and Charles? That Mysaria seems to be this all guiding ship for Rhaenyra right now.
I think that she was critical in this moment because I think that Rhaenyra kind of was more in line with what Jace is about to say, and thinks that that's it's a Targaryen power that nobody else can possess, but has to be within royalty lines basically, and it can't be to the small folk. But she puts things into perspective hardcore. What do your nephews say about honor? If this is truly about honor, what do your nephews say about honor? They're trying to kill you, and they're the purest bloodline there is. So I thought she kind of turned the tables to make it more palatable for her to move forward with the dragon seed, which I loved.
Yeah,
I like that you caught that about the brothers. Yeah, Charles, what do you feel about it?
Same thing. I think she was going along with her boy, and then Mysaria is like, "Hey, listen, I know these people. They're your blood. You just don't know it yet." So
it
I'm going to throw a spanner in the wrench. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. In the book, Jace comes up with it all. Jace is the one that goes to his mother and says, "Look, we need to offer these dragons to people that might have Targaryen blood," and he goes out there on a mission on his own and preaches to the people out loud. I am looking for people with Targaryen blood. Line up if you would like to ride a dragon. If you ride a dragon and are successful, I will honor you. I will give you a house. I will give you this. I will give you that. It's all Jace's idea in the book.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
So you see why I could be quite annoyed, or a little bit like, what's going on here, when it's Mysaria that seems to be doing all of this and not Jace. And Jace is upset about it.
Yeah.
It feels like they had to write in some way for Jace to confront his past and what's never been confronted before, who he is and what he means to the future. But really, what I want to know most is when Daemon comes home. That's going to be really weird. Daemon doesn't know she's there, and has no idea they built this relationship. So
yeah, Daemon knew she was there when he left because he freed her. That was his last thing. If you do blood and cheese, you are free. He doesn't know she stayed.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Good catch. So yeah, that's one of the little things with me. I'm not very happy that it was Jace's idea in the book. So it's all very different and very interesting. But that is what I like about this show, because the book is from other people's third point of view. It's like a Wikipedia page kind of thing, and the show is, in the depths, in the deep conversations that nobody else is listening to and wouldn't have public knowledge to be able to write it in a book of histories. So I do like the show.
It is fascinating in that way that neither is wrong, right?
Correct.
Because if you read it from the book perspective, then it's somebody telling a story from generations later. But if you're watching it and it's happening different, maybe that's really how neither one can be wrong. And I love that about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And here is another scene of HBO depicting that scene where she says to her about the dragon seeds and about the lowborns. And we get this line, which is very interesting, because she even says in the show, doesn't she? I was berated for so many years about my children's parentage and who they were. Remember Vaemond Velaryon? The children are bastards. He can keep his tongue. All of that was true. And now she's admitting to it, and she's having to deal with all this. And she says, let's raise an army of bastards. Like, yes, I've been waiting for it for a while. Just forget about bloodline and history and all that crap, because there's a bloody war at your door, and you haven't got anybody fighting and riding your dragons. You need to get people on the back of them.
I think some of that was triggered when Jace said about his hair being brown and not white, too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, because Jace knows, and we've always known that, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, we always knew it, but when he said it, she was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah."
Yeah. Here we have another scene. See, what I don't know. I think some of the scenes don't even get used. Some of the images that get given, I don't even think I see certain angles in that show. Like, I don't remember this angle at all.
This angle.
No.
So it's very interesting that you're getting these scenes, because these are kind of like behind the scenes extra stuff that HBO are providing for these shows. So yeah, I saw it and I thought I've got to include that because I've never seen this angle. Corlys walks in and sees Adam. It crushed you. Yeah, I'm not a father, but as I wanted him, knowing he was a father, I wanted him to hold his son, or to acknowledge his son and be there for him and say, I'm proud of you, or something, and he didn't. It was just a good boy, kind of pat on the head, patronizing little. Don't get me started on Corlys.
Yep.
I've lost a lot of
guys.
Corlys, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, Corlys has gone down in my ranks a lot this season.
Yeah.
She's been telling her stuff all this season, so not surprised. And plus, she knows more about happenings in King's Landing. Okay. Jon Snow is the greatest bastard of all. Just saying. The bastard of Winterfell. Yeah, so he basically says, well done. Adam asks for his leave, and he grants it him, and that's about it. Doesn't really say your leave is granted. Like, peace out, homie.
Yeah, he's like, well done, and leaves. Quite, which is quite the counter to his later interaction with his brother.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. They seem to have flipped another thing from the book. So in the book, Adam is older than Alan, but in the show they are depicting Alan as older than Adam. They're definitely putting it that way. That Alan seems to be older and wiser and more regal. So, yeah, they've kind of flipped the ages with those two, which is interesting. That's all I'll say on that, because something could happen next week that I don't want to go into. But if it doesn't happen next week, then I can be free to talk about it.
Mitchie's pretty hung up on why he doesn't have white hair versus, Alan does, as we saw in the last episode.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I don't have any answers for that. I just know that she's asked me that too, and I know she's brought it up.
Yeah, no, I actually don't know, because Lenor, did Lenor have white? Lenor had white dreads, didn't he?
Yep.
Because he preferred, what was the word? I can't remember. He preferred cake over carrots, I think it was. They were talking about cake and carrots, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had white hair there. I don't know. That's a very interesting question. Well, that would make sense. That would probably make more sense then, wouldn't it? Because isn't the white hair Valerian and Targaryen?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know, Mitchie. That's a good question. I will find out the answer to that, though. I'll need to dig into his parentage. It's not very clear on who his mother is. But yeah, we will see. He basically says, well done, pat on the head. Steve Toussaint is a fantastic actor. Like, when I looked at him in this scene, I'm like, there's so much makeup here and so much like stuff added, because this guy is completely bald and completely clean shaven in real life. And then you see all this stuff, it's like crazy how they make it look so real. But Steve Toussaint is a fantastic actor. Just season 2, he's gone down in my opinion, Corlys as a character. He hasn't really done anything apart from moan and weep and like mollycoddle to Rhaenys when she was around. So yeah. Then we're going to move on to the Tullys arriving at Harrenhal. I have this picture here just because I thought it was quite awesome to see how the castle is still in a blasted, ruined state. Nothing grows there. It's a morbid, decrepit, depressing area to be in, and that makes sense for Daemon's character for the last 3 episodes. You know, so I get it. If it was going to look like Highgarden and it was all beautiful with flowers and colourful rainbows and stuff, you'd be like, Daemon, what are you doing? But yeah, I just like it, and it's very interesting, and it stands the test of time. Of Dragonfire is dangerous because Balon came and burnt this place down. So yeah. Quick, hey, no spoilers. Well, get the fuck out, bro. Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for being here, but jeez. I'll be back on Thursday. Two Fidel, I gotta go. Yeah, go, bro. Get out of here. This person dies in the next scene.
Right.
Sick as fuck. Good to see you, bro. Yeah. Thanks for stopping in. Hit the like
on
your way out.
I know we're not there yet, but I am on board with with Corey 100%. I can't wait to get into that.
Oh yeah. Oscar's fantastic. Nice. Headless is out of it. Let's carry on. This was one of my favorite images in the whole show. I don't know if anyone caught it, but this is a reflection of Daemon reflecting on Daemon being Daemon. I was like, what is going on?
Whole lot of reflecting.
Such a good episode, and the way they did it, fantastic. And I had to pause it quite a lot of times just to get it. Sorry, Charles, say that again.
No, you're good. You're good.
Headless, the dragons start dancing in this episode. Yeah, they do, bro. Hell they do.
Yeah, they do.
We have the meeting of the Tullys. Oscar Tully has come to see Daemon. He is now the Lord of the Riverlands. Very interesting character. I think he's a cool little guy. See how long he lasts. Here we have one of the best lines. I am green in this sort of matter. His name is Oscar. Who else is green? Oscar Grouch.
Yep.
That's why he's there. That's got to be a little Easter egg to everybody that knows. It's got to be a little Easter egg for everybody that knows that it was the Muppets. It's the Muppets, right? Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a nice little Easter egg if that's what it is, but we'll see. There's also another Easter egg in this episode, and I don't know if anybody knows about it. If you watch the after show, then you do know. But yeah, it was very, very cool going back and seeing it because I didn't know until after then. Here we have some more images of the weirwood tree at Harrenhal. Very interesting area. The River Lords run by the old gods, and that's all like the children of the children of the forest and the weirwoods and Bran Stark and all that kind of stuff that Bran went into and all that, and that's what this is about. So I love that it's still connected to that because it is definitely a main focus in the main show of Game of Thrones. So they do need to have connections here. I wonder if Bran would have been able to see visions of the blood that seeped through the veins of the tree in this episode. It's interesting. It'd be cool to know that. But yeah, more images again. Tully is fantastic. I love these images. HBO, thank you very much. Such crystal clear images. Let me check the goat. Billy the goat. So Mitchie has named the Billy. I forget the name, but the director Sarah Hess did name the goat. They did name the goat. I just can't remember what it was.
Probably not Billy. Billy Goat. Probably
no,
not.
It wasn't Billy, but I can't remember what it was. Oscar, his brother Kermit, his father Elmo, and his great-grand Grover are references by George R. R. Martin, The Muppets. The Oscars being inspired by Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, thank you, Humpty. I appreciate it. Straight from the annals of history, i.e. Google. Oscar is fantastic. I think Damon saw something when he cut that guy's head off. Yeah, see, I've seen the episode 3 times and I'm still in question as to whether he's in dream state or not. I think the stuff actually happens, but I still think Damon is going through some crap. Definitely very interesting. That tree must have cost more to make than all of the Acolyte. Just saying. Completely agree, bro. And Corey says his armor is fantastic. Yeah.
The way Oscar in that moment not only stood up to Damon, which is something very few people would do, but also just immediately earned the respect of everyone in that room.
Yes.
So I just thought the balls on that kid were stone. Big time.
Yeah, I agree, but I kind of felt like it was set up here though. I feel like they spoke about what they were going to do. They didn't show us that conversation, of course, but I do get the feeling like they spoke here, and I got the impression that Damon was like, "You're going to have to kind of talk up to me out here because you need to stand out to all the people." You know what I mean?
Well, he made a point to say they don't like you. That you're the problem.
That's a good point.
They don't like you. So yeah, they did go kind of into that. So maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but I still
you're not. No. Mitch says maybe Damon saw how he would die when he did that. Alice say he was going to die. She did say that, Mitchie. She did say that you're going to die here.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar needs a wheelbarrow to carry his balls around after this episode.
I know. That's what I thought. That's what I was like. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see Amos Bracken and his son obviously have been brought as traitors to the realm by the opposing side, the Blackwood, and it basically gets called out to Blackwood. Well, you're none the same, if you're going to flip the coin on the other side, you've done just as worse, atrocious stuff for the land. So, and you did it because you wanted to do it, because you wanted to make your side of the war stand out better against your arch rivals, the Blackwoods and the Brackens. So it makes complete sense what happened here. And yes, he did. Oscar did do the right thing, in my opinion, by saying, you need to be tried for it. And he makes Damon do it, Interesting conversation. Gets in his face here. Will you have my army or not, or our army or not? You need to stand up and do the right thing for the realm. I've stood here in front of all these people and said that I'm too young to have my own opinion right now, so I'm going to go off my grandsire's opinion and go with King Viserys.
Because he called him Prince. And he said, mind your tongue.
He did, yeah.
Well.
mind your tongue, boy. Matt Smith is such a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, this role suits him to a T. And Oscar, a great little actor.
He wasn't having it.
Sees him. Riverlords murmuring. Time is strong. Oh, dear.
So many times too, he kept doing it like, oh God, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
That
I
look.
haven't. What's the soccer show that everybody loves in the US? That it's a TV show about a guy that manages a soccer team. The Luau was mad on it. I can't remember the name of it, but apparently this guy looks like a character from
yes.
it.
What is it
Apparently
called?
Simon Strong looks like a man in that show.
It's got. I can't even think of the actor's name, but yes,
Is it Ted
What was his
Lasso?
name?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, that's it. Thank you. I love that Simon Strong is a fan favorite. He's a great little character.
Yep.
It's probably the Milky of Westeros, unfortunately. He's going to be so happy when Damon leaves. He'll probably have a little dance to the tree.
Yes, he will be very much so.
Definitely.
Speak, Damon, look at that face. Like, did you just say to me, you little shit?
Yeah, Damon's
More
facial
Damon.
expressions within that scene changed 30 times, and it covered every single base you could possibly cover.
Yeah. That's why I'm in two minds as to whether he was still in Dream State or not, and maybe he was going into it. And at this point, especially, like the music changes, it's so eerie. Again, listen with headphones, guys. I think you hear more with headphones than you ever do if you just get it on the TV, especially in the Damon scenes. And then, we cut to one of my favorite ever Game of Thrones House of the Dragon conversations. Damon and the goat. No, it wasn't.
Damon and the goat. Yeah.
Billy is a great part of the video.
Yeah, it was. This is currently my background on my PC. This exact image. I love the light rays coming through, the shining on one side of Damon is light, one side of Damon is dark, and he's stepping into the light. It's a very poignant scene. I feel like he's stepping into the light, and then he comes away from the conversation with his brother, which we're going to go to in a minute, with a different perspective going forward. And I personally don't think that he wants to take the throne. I don't think that going forward after this episode. It would be interesting to see what you guys think.
Right. Yeah.
So we do have this scene. He walks through after seeing the goat, a bit creeped out, and we're here with Paddy Considine, and Paddy Considine requested, if on his return for this final scene, he requested himself that he would be in his whole leprosy get up, because it would be more powerful with Damon to see that. Johnny Knight is in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here, buddy. Another great scene with Paddy. I completely agree, Fidel. Completely agree. So here we have, he says, I never wanted it, holding this crown. I never wanted it, Damon. I never wanted this. And HBO, look at this image. HBO, thank you. Wow. Just such a crystal clear image of Viserys and his makeup. And wow. Spine-tinglingly amazing imagery. And he says, you always wanted it, Damon. Here he looks disheveled, ashamed, almost. I definitely get that on his face. He's unsure of his what he wants. And then, he basically says, do you always wanted it? Do you want it? I might have missed a scene or two here, but he says, do you want it now? And he doesn't answer. Jeremy, I can see you're holding that you want to say something about it, but where do you stand with Damon on this scene?
I just think that that's what the whole purpose of this was he went to Harrenhal. He left that room with Rhaenyra and went to Harrenhal with one determined mission in his mind, which is, I'm going to go solve this problem. I will sit on that throne. And Harrenhal has pushed him down this path to this point where he now understands that the weight of the crown is not something that he's going to want. And now he's going to take his rightful place, fight the battle, do all the things he's supposed to do, but stand at Rhaenyra's side. That's what I think. I just think up until this point, he said too many times, she can take her rightful place by my side on the throne when I take King's Landing. That's where I get to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. I just, my rebuttal back is anything that he says when in Harrenhal can be taken as him actually meaning it or somebody putting them thoughts in his head.
But even if that's even if that's a reflection of his, and back to the reflections, even if that's a reflection of his subconscious, that's what he really wants in the back of his head. He really wants to be king. Always did, always has. Now he could withstand it from his brother, but not from his brother's daughter. And I think that's where he was at.
I know, I like it. And I even like the choice of blurring Daemon in here, but having the crown in crystal clear view. Very, very good choice of like showing us how to emphasize something within a scene.
And one more small thing, I think that's so my interpretation of what happened just previous to that as well is that it was the actual act of beheading that guy that sent him into that dream state. It was the reality of the heaviness of the burden of being the guy who's ruling in that moment to take that guy's head, somebody that he sent to do what the guy did to get beheaded for. Now he has to go in and face that and understands the heaviness of the crown.
Love it. Yeah. You always have a way with words that I will never be able to match. So yeah, well done.
Because I'm the maester.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Then we cut to some horrible, painful scenes to see. We see King Aegon. He is still king. He's alive. He's the king. He's crying and he's in so much bloody pain. And yeah, horrible, horrible, heartbreaking scenes to see because I have felt for this man. Here, love this makeup. His ear looks like he's been playing rugby for a good few years with cauliflower ears, and like father, like son. Some people may say, looks just like his Viserys, you know, in a way.
Gives off that vibe.
Yeah, it definitely does. I love that people are agreeing with Jeremy in the chat. I love that. Mitchie says, I have always said that he was there for self-reflecting and it's time to heal for his own demons. Correct, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Corey, thanks for being here. I know it's late. It's 3:00 in the morning. I appreciate it.
I mean, if I was gonna behead somebody in this episode, it'd be whoever made that crutch that cracked and made him fall to the ground like that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. He does fall over. Again, Melos, deserves all the credit he gets. Melos is such a good guy. We see Larys basically telling him he's doing better. I think he's stroking his ego, trying to stay good with the king, because if he gets to a point where he really doesn't care about life anymore, then he's not going to care about Larys and about the position he put him in and all that stuff. So Larys is, in my opinion, protecting his own interests by being around the king and doing what he needs to do. I don't think he genuinely cares. I think he only cares for his position and what is going on, which is sad because I absolutely love Aegon. He's one of my favorite characters.
I think the most important part in this scene is what he says to the Maester as they're leaving. And I don't know if you've got that in here, but that's the part to me that it was about. He basically said he
hasn't got much time to rest. He won't have long to rest.
Right. And to me, I thought that was because under the rule of Aemon, that there may not be any time left. Like if we don't get this back in his hands, because obviously Larys doesn't like Aemon. He wants to be the whisperer to the guy who backed him in the first place in Aegon. So, but Aemon is leading him straight into the path of destruction.
Correct.
So
yeah, no, good catch, Jules. What do you feel about Aegon? How do you feel about Aegon as a character from what he was at the start? Very aggressive towards women and the Handmaiden in particular, and what he did, and now where he is on his deathbed, basically. How do you feel about Aegon?
He's growing on me for sure. At first, he was just a punk kid, a punk teenager with too much power, like a spoiled rich kid, basically. But he's growing on me. I know he's not doing much in the last couple episodes, but I think he's still ruling, and he's still getting stuff done, even though he's bedridden. So that shows a lot in a person, that they can still handle stuff and be bedridden, be eaten by a dragon.
I don't think we'll see it, or maybe we will. I don't know. But if I wasn't Team Black, and Aegon made it through this. I'd love to see what kind of king he became after this. You know, did this humble him? Did this make him a, you know, more of a peaceful ruler, or would this make him vicious and angry? I don't know. Could go either way.
Yeah. Good point. In the book, it's noted that Aegon is bedridden for almost a year. He literally does not get out of his bed for a year. So them doing this kind of stuff, again, you know, not every single detail is in the book. So it could have happened. It might not have happened. They kind of are jumping the gun a little bit with Aegon, I feel, though, pushing him. But that's because of Aemon being in charge, like you said, and the ferocity of what he could do at any minute, you know. And only this episode did he stepped back a little bit. Here we have Corlys speaking with Alan again. Did you catch it, guys? I don't know if I have implanted the meme into people's heads or not, but he literally goes, Alan.
Yeah,
I made my meme. I think I still have it. Yeah, I made my meme with Alan, and this episode he comes in and he goes, Alan.
Alan. The Copacabana. Music and fashion is always the passion at the Copa. Hey, are you filming me in the bath? Get out! How am I? I'm naked. You better not put it on YouTube.
Oh, so that's not Alan. Steve. Steve!
Oh, there you go. That's a meme for your entertainment, guys, and so that I can take a quick drink and refresh the whistle, because talking takes it out of you. But I appreciate all 8 of you here tonight, guys. Please hit the like button on the stream, share this with a friend, share this with another dragon lover of yours. Let them know that we're here every single Monday, even after House of the Dragon has ended. Still going to be here every single Monday talking about stuff, and we're going to be here every single week.
I like Fidel says the otter. The otter is Alicent in this episode.
Yeah, that was the plan.
In water. I love it.
Yeah, that was the plan, because I knew we were going to get to the scene, because it was teased in the episode 6 next week. I think it was at the end of 6 or at the end of 5. It might have been teased that she was going to be near a lake, and I thought, we'll get it in.
Mitchie messaged me and said, Aegon is not a good person. I feel bad, but too bad he didn't die. Now, I would say that I agree with her from a moral standpoint, but if you take it in context of House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones lore, I mean, it's you know, brothers sleeping with sisters and mothers and kids and all kinds of horrible things going on. So, he's a bad person, but I don't know what his character would be like.
Yeah, Mitchie, I am reading your messages. That final one you sent me, I will refrain from saying on the stream, because that is massive.
I tell her to.
We'll talk about that off stream.
Okay, Mitchie, I don't know why you said it, but I will refrain from reading your comments on here.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, Mitchie. Here we see Adam of Hull, and he is being told that he needs to gather some people on boats at the show's edge and wait for a person to approach him, and that person will give him a name that he will pass a message on to. Very secrecy. I just wish that Corlys would just acknowledge him and do something about it, because they are his sons, and clearly needs somebody to be around. We've had Adam say now he is of Salton Sea, and we've had the other one now flying a dragon, so it's kind of cleared a path for Corlys to kind of like bring him closer. Maybe he will with one brother and not the other, maybe not. It's interesting.
Did he not in this scene? Did he not kind of give nod without saying it? He say it without saying it?
A little bit, I think.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
That's why I was so upset about his interaction with Adam, was because why would you go to this brother, good job, and then go to the other brother and be like, and then kind of give him some information that, you are who you think you are.
Yeah.
He said something about his mother? I thought he did. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I guess so. But I feel like he put it on Adam, on Alan. He said, "Your brother rode a dragon. We are not that. We are of the sea." Like, no, you are of the sea. Let him have his own choice. You kind of,
Yeah.
I feel like he put it on him. Like, maybe he's afraid he didn't want to lose him as well, because if he goes and flies a dragon, like, oh my god, I've got nobody now. You know, I've got no wife, I've got no kids. You know, what's going to happen now? So I do feel like he kind of held on to Alan a little bit. But we'll see going forward. I do hope Alan has a big part to play in the finale. Otherwise, I might be a little bit disappointed, because I'm expecting big things of Adam and Alan. Alan! Here we have such a great shot, you know, on the ground looking up. Lady Jane leaving at the bloody gate, and she is, yeah, she's going forward with the plan that she set last week, how she's going to send Baylor away with some men across the Pentos. Baylor's like, yeah, do you know what? I'm having none of that. You guys can just walk 2 meters in front of me, and I'm just going to run off into this field, and nobody's going to see me do it.
All right.
Like, what? Again, love the actual costume. What she's wearing here is absolutely gorgeous. Love it. I just don't get this whole dragon in the veil. I'm sorry, guys, but you're going to have to try and convince me. Are you interested in this story with her claiming a dragon? Do you have any inkling as to what dragon she might be claiming? Because,
Yeah, I mean, I think it made it very clear that if she claims dragon, it's going to be the one we know in this episode. But that doesn't mean she will. We didn't see it happen. So she's just as likely to set sail for Pentos as she is claim it. But, I mean, is there a question of what dragon it would be?
yeah, do you have any idea of what it would be?
There's a bunch of dead sheep laying all over the ground.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's just because they haven't confirmed it right now. So like she could step up on Cannibal next week.
God, that's true.
You know what I mean? They're all wild dragons and they're all out there. She could come across a cannibal cave or a grey ghost by the water or a sheep stealer. Who knows? They haven't actually told us. They just showed us some missing sheep. Okay, interesting. My issue with this is that it's in the Vale. I've already mentioned this before.
Yeah.
This dragon should not be in the Vale. This dragon should be on Dragonstone. If this is the dragon we're expecting it to be, it should not be here. Chronologically, it shouldn't be here. So I'm a little bit miffed by it. But hey, if it means I get to see another dragon on my screen, then I'll forgive you for it, you know? Because I get to see another dragon, so fair enough. Corey says Raina will get Sheepstealer next episode. Interesting. I wonder if she will.
Well,
or if she won't. We didn't see Daemon grab the crown, but we know it's the goat eater dragon and grey ghost one. Okay.
she's got two dragons in there. She's got Grey Ghost and she's got Sheep Stealer, but she keeps calling it Goat Eater Dragon.
Eater, I like it.
They've been feeding it to keep it stay. Interesting. That's something Mitchie would do. Jeremy didn't get steak this evening. Why? Because she threw it over out the window for the dragon.
1,000%.
Why have I just got potatoes?
1,000%.
Love it. Then Alicent goes on a little wander into the woods on her own. Did anyone get suicide thoughts? Any vibes? Did anyone get them vibes? Because I did. Thought she was going to off herself.
I thought she was going to go drown herself, yeah.
He and I talked about that. I think Mitchie leaned that way and I leaned the other way.
Okay.
She's going to go kind of baptismal, re-cleanse herself.
Yeah, she was going to go.
There's no cleaning how dirty she is, I'm telling you.
She was going to unalive herself. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no cleaning how dirty she is. And I would say that to her face if she didn't cancel on me on my first ever Comic-Con. Never forgive her for that, Alicent Cook. One day we'll meet.
And is that blue or is that green that she's wearing right there?
Ooh. Looks purple.
It does look like an aqua because the grass is green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks more blue than green.
Yeah.
Mitchie, what does blue represent? What does that say to you in your head? Because I have no idea where you're going with that. Just a blue dress. Does that mean that she's?
She says it's
What
blue.
is blue in the middle of
Because
black and green?
Not necessarily, but it could be. She did make the statement that she may never go back, which could be her shedding green. The team green.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Fidel looks pink to
Interesting.
me.
She did say that. She did say it looks pink to me. I swear she submerged herself in a season 2 trailer, but it didn't happen, so I'm assuming it's deleted.
Well, she did once before in the bathtub. We saw that scene where she was under the water, and people had some of those same ending herself thoughts. That's what she was up to.
Yeah, I think Corey is on about a scene though. I do remember a scene where she was underwater, and I freaked out because I thought she was in the God's Eye Lake. I think that's where she is this episode. If she's in the God's Eye Lake, that's interesting because the island in the middle of the God's Eye Lake is very fucking magical. Like children of the forest shit live there, and it's very, very magical. So like if she's about to go there, that could be a big twist in the story because that's not book stuff. So that'd be very interesting if Alicent ends up going to the Isle of Faces. If anybody's seen Game of Thrones, you remember the Isle of Faces.
So you guys would have my memory's not good enough. Mitchie says she used to wear blue. Was that she used to wear blue when she was a child before she took is that
before she came out in the glorious green dress and declared war?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she did, I think.
This is kind of her reverting back to her more pure days, or maybe the shedding of green.
More neutral. Yeah, neutral standpoint.
Maybe she was just cleansing herself in the dirty lake. Yeah.
She was in that lake because it is mentioned in the after show. Okay, interesting. That might be interesting to see where they go with Alicent. Because she's going in a teepee. I wouldn't mind getting in there with her just for an hour or two.
I thought the old guy was going to.
Yeah,
so did I. Why was this dress not see-through? I'm highly disappointed.
That's what I told Mitchie. I've never seen white that's not see-through in water. Come on.
That was interesting.
I was highly disappointed.
Let's not make t-shirts out of that, whatever that dress is made out of. No.
Yeah, definitely.
Thick wool.
It's like wool. Yeah.
Then we cut to Jace talking to his mother, and I caught this scene here. He's talking about Darkland and about how he's annoyed because they're going to go basically test these bastards to fly dragons, and he's like, "You tried last week with Darkland and you failed." And he says here, I caught HBO out, guys. This is false information. They call him the heir of Dunfort. If you know your Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon lore, if you swear to be a Kingsguard, you give up all titles and deeds for your life. Right. So Darkland gave up the right to be the heir of the Dunfort. So Jace is wrong here. So tick to Milky, X to HBO. They got it wrong, and I caught it. They got that wrong. He is not the Dunfort heir, and never was, or was at a point until he became Kingsguard to Rhaenyra. Just a thing I point out.
Yep.
Then we have the conversation about Jace. Basically, says it to her. Did you know I was going to have black hair? Like, what? Basically, Jace is pissed. To bluntly put it, Jace is pissed because what makes Jace special now? All these guys are exactly the same as Jace. Bigger than Jace, got bigger muscles than Jace, probably better looking than Jace. They are Targaryen bastards that can ride a dragon. So Jace has gone down the totem pole, in his opinion. Like Ulf and Hugh Hammer, all those people are exactly the same as him.
But
Jace isn't happy,
But he's still the heir. He is still her son. Hugh is not her son. Ulf is not her son. He is her son, the heir. If anything, this strengthens his right to the throne, or his heir to the throne, because bastards are accepted. So this only reinforces that. So why Jace has got to be such a I've got so many words that I'm not going to use. Yes. I don't understand it. And that's what's so frustrating with Jace, because 3 episodes, I thought he was fantastic, and he's just pissed me off ever since.
How would you feel if they went down the line of Jace doing the dragon seeding? Would you have been happy with that being his choice to do it all?
Yes, it would have showed his prowess, his ability to step up and be king should anything ever happen to make the hard decisions, to rule the people. I mean, to make those hard decisions. Yes, I would have loved that. Instead, we've got this wussy ass version of Jace who's just got mommy issues and can't get past it, and it's doing nothing for the show. Just, I don't know.
Yeah. So to me, right now, Jace and Aemon are switching places.
Yes, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Jace is now the little mouse over here being a little bitch, and Aemon's handling what he's got to handle. So
I like that. I like that thought, Charles. I never thought of the parallel between those two. Aemond on Vhagar, Aemond with the one eye, or Aegon?
Aegon, I'm sorry, Aegon.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
just had to do. Yeah, Aegon. Okay.
Yeah.
Aegon was being a bitch, and now he's trying to do something about it. Whereas now Jason didn't do anything about it, and now all he's doing is bitching. Okay, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. It disappoints me because all I see is that they messed with canon and it kicked them in the arse later down the line. That's all I see from this. I can't pull myself away from that because there was something written that had Jace's story had a purpose and a completion and everything. And yeah, like I said, you mess with canon and it kicks you in the arse later down the line. And I feel that that's what's happened here. Because now you have to kind of explain, he has to have a reason as to why he's not happy with this. Whereas in original material, it was his idea. So, it's awkward. The proof is all there. The proof is here for everyone to see. Everyone can see he's a Targaryen bastard, just like all the other guys that are now flying around. Somebody new to the realm wouldn't be able to distinguish him as, oh, you're the Targaryen prince because you don't have the blonde hair. Like, I'm sorry, but can't you get hair dye in Westeros? Like, just deal with it, bro.
Yeah, but this is where the conversation that Rhaenyra had with Mysaria earlier should come into play. She should relay some of that information about the importance of what's going on and raising up the bastards and raising an army of bastards because it's in defense of her son and what people have put him through and said about him. So I don't see why those didn't play.
Yeah, and there's such a thing as legitimization of bastards, and that hasn't happened with any of them. And Jace is a legitimized bastard; he has a seat. So I get that point. Maybe if Rhaenyra legitimizes these guys, then Jace doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. If she if she makes them lords and knights of the kingdom, that can also dragon ride.
Except I always fall back on the one thing, which is he's heir to the throne, and nobody else is. Now, does he think that? I always want to call him Thor because that's what Mitchie calls him. Does he think that Hugh would then challenge his right to the throne? I don't know. Maybe that's what he's hung up on, or somebody else is
right
bigger and stronger. Sure, he would have a right to.
Yeah, he could technically have a right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting, and that's a conversation we're going to come onto in a minute when we get to Hugh Hammer and Ulf, because I want to get your opinion on it. Here we see Belinda or Alinda receive a message which was given earlier on in the episode that Corlys was going to deliver. Again, try and be conspicuous, guys. Let's run around a fucking courtyard in a bright red dress. Jesus Christ.
Right. Everyone's wearing gray and black and you've got red. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody will notice that.
Yeah, she looks like a little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Exactly. She's walking around talking to everyone with distinctly blonde hair. Like, oh, you couldn't make it any more obvious. And she's running down into Dragon Pits. And here, 7 hells. Had to catch this line. Very Game of Thrones line. I think of Robert Baratheon. Thank the gods for Bessie. When he says things like that. 7 hells, Ulf. This is a laugh. Let's talk about Ulf. Charles, I'm going to come with you first. Is he full of shit? Or was he just stinking of piss? That's my question. Is he a Targaryen bastard, or did he just get lucky?
I think he's Targaryen. I really do. Yeah.
You do?
I do. I truly do believe so.
You believe his stories in the bar? He tried to get out of it in this episode. He's like, "Oh, my leg! It might not be able to."
He sure did.
It was kind of weird, bro. I got weird vibes. Like, are you taking the piss here?
Yeah. No,
So you think he is actually legitimately Targaryen?
Yeah. Some of the facial features for me too makes it a little stronger case as well. He kind of looks like the series. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just wondering because this show he's the comedic part of this show.
Mm-hmm.
In other roles this actor has been in, it's always been comedy stuff. He's a British actor, so they kind of play on it here with him being comedy, and it kind of gets away with it in this. I like Ulf; he's a good character.
I don't think he knew if he was. I don't think he knew. I think he thought he was. I think he'd heard stories that maybe he was, and he played off of it for his own benefit. But then when it came time, he was like, "I don't know that any of this is real."
Yeah.
And then I think Claim of the Dragon confirmed that it was. I think
he kind of said that too. He's like, "I don't know if the story's real." And they're like, "Oh, whatever." And then he's like, "Oh, yeah."
And then even I don't know. Even later on in the end, when he actually claims the dragon, he's a little bit surprised that it worked. He's like, "Whoa, did that actually work?"
Yeah.
When he's laying on the ground and he opens his eyes, he's like, "No way, what's happening here?"
Yeah. No way, that dragon's already got a saddle. How did that happen? Did anyone catch that dragon already had a fucking saddle on?
Absolutely, the wild dragon already had a saddle on.
Yeah, I was like, why has that dragon just got a saddle? He's raging with the guys, and then we cut to Hugh. Such a I don't know what I'm gonna do to I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Hugh, one of my favorite characters in this show. Love him, absolutely love him. We do learn this episode that he did lose his daughter, him and his wife. They did lose their daughter. She did die. It is said in conversation that we couldn't save her. Hugh Hammer is a legitimate Targaryen. He is the half brother of Daemon and Viserys. Very interesting, his storyline going forward. He is the new rider of Vermithor. You all knew it. I guess, Jeremy, you knew this from the start. Did you know he was going to ride Vermithor? Did you know that for a certain?
I mean, in my brain, it could not have worked out any other way. Now, having said that, I did mention to Mitchie, I'm like, what if, Ulf would have gone up first to Vermithor and Vermithor burns him, but he could have rode, the other dragon, but Vermithor's already taken care of the issue. So I like the way they did it. But in my mind, there's no way you put Ulf on Vermithor and Thor. Hugh on the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
I agree. Okay. I think it's very fitting. He's a blacksmith. Vermithor is the bronze dragon. I think it's
you got Vermithor. You got Hugh Hammer. You've got, and then Mitchie just gets it all mixed up and calls them all Thor, the dragon and Hugh.
Okay. So I know his mother was Sarah Targaryen. Sarah Targaryen was a daughter of Jaehaerys.
Right.
Who rode Vermithor.
Okay.
So Hugh isn't half brother; he's cousins.
Cousins to Daemon and Matt. Daemon and sorry.
That's what I thought.
Cousins. That's correct. Cousins. Yeah. So he and I like how I do believe that Ulf is also connected to Alysanne. So Ulf claimed that the family's rightful dragon, and Hugh claimed the family's rightful dragon. Two new dragon riders were both on the dragons, and you could also say Adam claimed Laenor's dragon, which is his. So it's like the new dragon seeds claimed the family's honorable dragons. So it's a good way to catch it.
Yeah.
Hugh Hammer is a great character, and I probably will cosplay as this in the future. I could probably pull that off. I've got the good enough beard.
Oh, Mitchie says I called him Thor first. I probably did. He looks like Thor.
You actually called him before first. I rolled. He looks like his name is Hugh.
Yeah,
he does look like a little bit like a Thor.
Huge.
Well, I'm not a Marvel guy, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Charles, I want to ask you here, What are the Greens doing, bro? Like, 2 episodes ago, they demanded that the city gates be closed. How the fuck have we got 20 people on a beach?
They went through the catacombs and they snuck out. Or they gave the guard a chocolate bar. I'm not really sure. You're right. They locked the town down, and now all of a sudden they're just going to the boat.
We're just walking around doing anything. Alison's in the woods doing what she's doing.
In the earlier scene, though, when the handmaid went and talked to everybody and to set this whole thing up, I saw. Didn't she talk to a couple of the Kingsguard? I mean, I still think that there's people.
Some of the Kingsguard are friendly with Mysaria.
Yeah, so I think that there's just the idea that they opened the door for it.
Probably. They gave the guards dragon chocolate bars to get out of the city.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I heard
all they had invisibility cloaks. So for you book readers, this is probably nothing, but this person very close to the camera, this female character with this dark hair, the person at the back of this queue. I'm going on a whim. That could be our only sighting of Nettles. I maybe they just didn't have Nettles in the show, but they kind of gave us a Nettles lookalike. She was a black of color skin lady, very erratically wild hair like that, and yeah, that's just what I'm gonna. I don't think we'll see much of her anymore. But book readers, that might be your Nettles reference right there. Like it. Randy is in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for commenting. I know you mentioned in the group chat that you had a favorite character, and I didn't know which one it was. But now you just let me know because we were just talking about Hugh Hammer. Hi everyone. Hell yes, that's my guy right here. After everything he's gone through, lost his child, I was hoping he would get a dragon, and he has become my favorite, says Randy. Thank you for your comment, Randy. I appreciate it. Yeah, Hugh is a great character. I'm gonna have some questions for you guys in the panel in a minute when we get off this scene. Mitchie says Rhaenyra's struggles for the throne and the crown are bad. Think how bad they will be for Jason, a bastard on the throne. It's impossible. Completely agree. Yep. Always under contention, never sure who's going to stab you in the back. That's why I run my council from Scotland and none of you guys can stab me in the back because you're all miles and miles away.
But that's why it's called a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Ulf is so underrated character. Same with you. Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. Just when you know certain things, and it can be sore. I feel like Hugh might claim the throne since he's half sibling, maybe turn on the blacks.
Right.
Interesting.
So yes, Hugh is the half brother of Viserys and Daemon.
Hugh Hammer, yeah.
Yeah. No. Ulf. Hugh is the cousin.
Half brothers. Yeah.
Oh, cousins and brothers. Yeah, I get it all mixed up. Cousins and brothers and uncles and nephews. It's all confusing.
Well, they're all sleeping together and married, so
yeah,
it's easy to get them mixed up.
Pretty much. So, right, I'm going to ask you some questions about Hugh and Ulf. What are their end games? So, we see this episode, Hugh Hammer talking with his wife, saying, "I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make our lives better." What is he going to do? Is he just going to join the fight with Rhaenyra and be on Team Black? I don't understand what they're trying to tell us. What's he going to do?
I think his end game is prove he can ride a dragon, and then that gets his wife to come to King, to be with him. And then
she doesn't want to be with him in that way.
Well, but their life will be so much easier because they won't have to need for anything once he can prove that.
Okay.
She doesn't want that, apparently. She likes where they're at, but,
Yeah, and I can see her fears because we've seen a dragon's head being dragged through the city, so she knows that you're a dragon rider, you aren't invincible, you can fall. So I get those sentiments, but I just fear for... I don't know. It's interesting to see what they're going to do. They've instantly rose to power.
The end game for Thor is less clear to me than Ulf, because Thor, there's no real reason he would have animosity to Greens. They didn't create this horrible depiction of if they would have been like they tried to get help for the daughter and the Greens rejected them, or if
they didn't give him food.
I mean, they didn't give him food. They gave him food, but it was fish and not meat and not all that. I mean, if he doesn't have this deep-seated hatred for Team Green, then I don't know why his loyalty is strong with, because both have it right based on his being the cousin kind of deal. Like the lineage doesn't work out the same. But with Ulf being the half-brother and the succession line being through Viserys to his daughter down, I think his loyalty is going to lie with Team Black. Plus, he's just so excited he got a dragon, he can't wait to show it off.
Yeah.
I think Hugh is in it for Hugh and his wife, and whichever side proves better, that's where he's gonna put his.
But Rhaenyra did give him the opportunity to claim the dragon, so she did open the door. So he's gonna have some loyalty to her for that.
There's a little bit. There's more than towards Green, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fidel says endgame for Hugh is in fog for now. Yep, I agree. Mitchie says he just needed validation of where he came from. And I can say the same for Ulf. Yeah, I can say exactly the same. Of course, you all know I already know. I already know what happens with these characters as far as what the book tells me. So I'm just playing a little bit. I'm seeing how far I can push the envelope to get some conversations. I'm not spoiling anything. It's still all left up for everyone's interpretation. Alison, I got some of these images because I thought they were quite interesting, and the music playing at this part was just phenomenal. I am a massive component for Game of Thrones music. I still listen to this day, every single night whilst I'm sleeping, to The Long Night. If anybody doesn't know what The Long Night is, it's the entire soundtrack of the entire episode of the downfall of the White Walkers, with Arya Stark flying through the sky and Jon Snow fighting the dragons, all that kind of stuff. That song that's playing in that episode, to me, is spine tingling, and I still, to this day, listen to it every single night at bed. I go to sleep listening to it. It's crazy. This song playing in this scene was one of those. Love the soundtrack for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. I've zoomed in, guys. Don't even try it. I've zoomed in. You can't see nothing. It's not worth it.
Of course you did.
You have done forensic analysis on this video, haven't you?
Right.
Yeah. I even went onto Google and put image enhancers and tried to do the sliders before and after. You can't. AI is not that good, guys. I don't know why everyone's raging about it. It's not that good. She's being watched by a bird. Anyone think that could be something?
I don't think he's a bird.
Could be a bird.
It's very interesting because we cut to the next image. I don't have it, but in this exact scene when this bird is flying over her, we then cut to the scene on Dragonstone, and we're looking down from the very top of the castle, seeing people walking. And I feel like it was a scene trying to tell you that person was being watched, and I don't know. I just feel that that's what that was doing. And if you know, there are green seers in this world. We've had what's her name? The witch in Harrenhal. In mind.
Alice.
She
is the
goat.
Alice is the owl. Yeah.
The owl, the goat. I've referenced that Laris could be possibly, and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I wonder if it creeps me out that Laris could have been in this bird watching Alison all along.
Yep. Absolutely.
And he's not needing footprint. He's not needing foot images anymore and foot rubs because it could be him.
He wasn't really watching her. He was just watching her toes. That was it.
Live recording during a concert on YouTube. I've listened to Dutch National Orchestra playing Game of Thrones soundtrack when I do things around my house. Awesome, Fidel. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm pretty similar. I do listen to a lot of Game of Thrones music, and that orchestra is amazing. Yeah, so here we have more images of them. I actually might think that might be next week, so we will move on from that one. What do you think to this one? This one was a cool concept. This was a very cool concept. This is not in the books, guys. This is way, way off what the books say. I loved it, though. One of the best changes I've ever seen in House of Dragon history. The Dragon Keepers are not happy about it. They're saying, this is sacrilege, what you are doing. This is sacrilege. And I just love it. The dragons are sacred. They are the last magic of old Valyria in this sad world. What a fucking line. Wow. And they step away. They step away. Guys, who's going to know which dragon likes a tummy rub and which one likes a neck rub? Who's going to change like dragon diapers and who's going to do all this shit? They've been doing this with dragons for thousands of years. Even Rhaenyra doesn't do it. And now they're not around. So who's going to teach them? What's going to happen with these dragons now? It is very fucking interesting because the dragon guys have walked away. And I must say, what's the word I want to use? Emma Darcy's portrayal in High Valyrian is probably the best High Valyrian I have ever seen an actor or actress speak. I could listen to their pronunciation of High Valyrian all day. Very, very good, Emma Darcy. Very well done.
Yeah, well
the
done.
Dragon Whisperers. The Dragon Whisperers, Mitchie, definitely. The Dragon Whisperers. What are they going to do? Like, how do they know which one likes a tummy rub and which one doesn't? That's my biggest thing. You know, Sea Smoke likes an itch on the left ear, and Thermothor likes an itch on the right toe, and none of these people need to pass this information on. And they walk away. Badass scene. And I don't think it's the last of what we will see of them.
They'll figure it out. It'll just take a couple people to figure out which one's which. Yeah. Because they'll be marshmallows.
It makes sense for them to do this scene just to give it more of a dread feeling on who's going to ride the dragons. Yeah, it does. In the show, in the book, and in the Game of Thrones books, the dragon keepers are in this badass armor, and they are really cool characters, and they only ever speak High Valyrian. They never deviate from that. It's like they are put into the annals of history as this old time group of fanatics, and yeah, it's just cool. It's really cool. I like them, and they didn't have the budget for it in the show to give them these armor, so they decided, okay, let's give them this all-knowing stuff and just put them in robes and have them be respected by everybody. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes and one of my favorite changes from the book to the show. So you guys, I'm not always so bitchy about changes.
So the guy, okay, if you go back one slide, I got a question about that slide. The guy standing back there in the straitjacket.
Yeah.
Who is he? Because he does not go out. He stays. Is he not?
He's Rhaenyra's Grand Maester. No, he's Rhaenyra's Grand Maester.
Okay. Because I thought he was one of the Dragon Whisperers at first. I'm like, why didn't he leave? So.
No, he's always at the table with Rhaenyra.
Okay, that's Jeremy.
Yeah, it's basically Jeremy's role. Yeah, he needs that. You can tell by the chain around his neck. He's got the chains around his neck, so he's different.
Benji, if you're watching, check Temu for a chain.
Oh my.
Again, one of the best lines. They are not playthings for the games of men. Because in Game of Thrones, there were no dragons. So they were arguing over a seat. And now they're arguing over dragons, and they are not playthings for the games of men. I thought that was a very interesting and catchy line. Like, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
And I can't imagine that these guys, I mean, these guys are very protective of them as well. So I can't see them wanting them to raise these dragons up for purposes of war. I mean, they love these dragons. They care for them every day. So
yeah, and they are the old magic of Valyria, and that's the only thing that's left of old Valyria. Yeah, I completely agree. We're near the end, guys. Like I say, there's 100 slides. I think this is 76. I like this line as well. Ash in the Wind. Again, you guys know I'm a big component of my short lines for my Funko Pops and for meeting people and quotes and stuff. Ash in the Wind is a good one. I'm not missing any chats, I don't think. I'm trying to keep up. I want to know what Rhaenyra and Vermithor were talking about in his face. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I feel like, yeah, they did have a moment. I don't know.
Is it weird? Is it weird that she can do that?
No.
I mean, I know that she has that connection with her dragon, but is it just as queen she can do it with other dragons? Like, why didn't Vermithor eat her? He's not.
Because she's queen.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's because she's queen, because the dragons know that she has the respect. They have her respect. She has their respect. That's the way I'm going with this. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think, does she have any interactions in the book with other dragons? I don't think she does. At this point in the book, Alicent and Rhaenyra are both home alone at the castle a lot, and they both become very angry, violent women. And we haven't quite seen that in this season from the two of them. So it's a different interest, a different way they're going. But I don't think she touches other dragons. But for the show's perspective, I think it's just because she is queen. Everything bows to her. Everyone was bowing to her this episode. You know, Adam did it. Everyone else is doing it. But yeah, that's where I go with that.
Mitchie, the only problem I have with that is if I'm not trying to claim it, I ain't trying to pet it either.
Well, Daemon did the same thing when he was singing to Vermithor. Remember, Daemon went in and sang to Vermithor and was stroking it and stuff like that. So
True.
Okay.
yeah, I think Vermithor was just very pliant with everybody. And the dragon tamers will speak to them and touch them and rub their left belly and the neck and all that stuff. So I get it.
Vermithor did smile, and Mitchie ate that up.
Mitchie had no fingers left. Mitchie'd have no fingers left.
I know, she'd be roasted like a sausage.
Here's this image. This is the best quality I could get for you guys. I have sent it to a couple other people. Yeah, what a fantastic image. Parallels one of the end images of Game of Thrones when Daenerys is at the top of the steps and Drogon's wings come out and she's at the top there. One of the fantastic images of that show. This is another similar image of that.
Bro, spoiler alert, man. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know, bro. You'll forget about it, bro.
I will.
Yeah, then Vermithor decides that. Well, so basically, what this was Uber Eats for dragons. Rhaenyra decided to get Uber Eats to come in for the dragon because he was hungry, and he just went crazy. He just went absolutely crazy. Rhaenyra's onlooking.
But once again, notice she was like, "Well, that's all I can do, so I'll be over here on the balcony."
Yeah. The dragon must speak. And then we do come to this scene. So, has Hugh Hammer been watching Jon Snow? Did he go to the school of Jon Snow? Because who shouts at a dragon?
Yeah, this was badass. This is when that dragon was like, "Oh, all right, bro, I got you."
Yeah. Uber Eats, lol. Love it. Does anyone remember Jon Snow shouting to the dragon? Yeah, very interesting. I know, Charles, you won't have seen that part. So bastards can burn.
Everyone can burn.
Even Rhaenyra can burn. Everybody can burn. Yeah. People say that Targaryens don't burn, and certain people, Daenerys didn't when she walked out of those flames, but that was because of the magic and all the stuff with the dragon eggs itself and the witch that put the stuff on her. And yeah, they kind of messed up with that. I don't personally believe that anybody is fireproof, especially from a dragon. Like, it's even hotter than normal fire. And one of my favorite things of this show is they actually use real fire in House of the Dragon. So when you see fire, it's actually real, which is really, really cool. And they set people on fire, which is insane.
Yeah, that's wild. But obviously, I mean, Aegon got burned. Like, they can catch fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Almost done, guys. 83 slides. Awesome image here. Love this one. This is the background to the live stream, as you can see with the overlay. Vermithor and Hugh Hammer have bonded. They have claimed one have become two, or two have become one. Very, very interesting storyline that is about to unfold here. Does anybody see a face in the bottom pool underneath the dragon's head?
Oh,
The very bottom of the image, there's a face in the flame.
Yeah.
That's Jeremy's fault for making me look at faces in castles.
Well, they're not in Harrenhal, so...
Yeah.
No, they're not. But yeah, there is a face right there in that flame, and it's very interesting.
I love the
He got burned because he's a pussy.
So I love the. Oh, that's great. I love the sheer terror and panic on Rhaenyra's face when Vermithor started burning them all, and then it transformed to this after Hugh comes forward and says, "You're Vermithor, you're my bitch."
Yeah,
I think it's because she's like, "Oh, it actually worked! Holy crap!"
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, okay.
she's just become super powerful all of a sudden. Now this war actually can be won.
And she has no idea that Ulf is out there running through, dragging his foot along, getting to no idea that's even happening.
Yeah, good point. It was the best image I could get of Silverwing, guys. Like, it was a very dark scene, very hard to see it, but I got a pretty good image. You can kind of see it. I love the horns on his head. He goes by, he's very agile, quick dragon.
Do you think that Ulf didn't see him laying on the ground there? Because when he was going up to it, he was kept walking in that direction, and I was like, there's a dragon right there. Do you not see that? And then he stepped in.
Yeah, he didn't see it. So did he step on dragon shit, or did he step on a dragon egg? I think he stuck on a dragon egg.
I think he stepped in a pile of dragon shit, and there was an egg laying in it.
I mean, I don't know how they bury their eggs, but he definitely stepped in a buried pile of eggs. Because you saw the eggs, right?
Yeah, there was an egg laying there next to his foot. Yeah.
Interesting. So here, he rolls around in dragon piss, and the dragon smells and is like, "Oh, is that you?" I don't know where to go with this. Did the dragon choose him? Because it seemed that way. It seemed like Silverwing may have had the feeling in her loins that, oh, my daddy Vermithor is just being claimed, so okay, I'll be claimed as well. Like, they come hand in hand, both of them, Vermithor and Silverwing, Jaehaerys, Alysanne. They were basically a married couple and a married dragon couple. Like, that's the way it was. That even in the book, I think that they would sleep coiled around each other in the book, and Vermithor and Silverwing. So they are lovers in the book as dragons. I wonder if that's why Silverwing just claimed Ulf, because Vermithor had just been claimed and she could sense that, and maybe that's why Ulf just got away with it, because he wasn't very sure on his own story he was telling throughout this season, and just so happened to work after he'd rolled around in dragon piss. I'm not convinced that he is definitely Targaryen, but in the story sense, in the book he is. There's no question about it. But I think that they're playing on it in the show. Like, why have him roll around in dragon piss and then the dragon smells you? If you didn't want us to have that as a very poignant scene, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me, but I like it. I like the beam of light coming through. It was a very good use of camera trick to have it in the darkness and be into the light. Love that kind of stuff. Favorite dragon of the day, guys. Go, Charles. Favorite dragon of the day.
Of the day.
Yeah.
Vermithor.
Easy. Yeah. Jerry,
just from that one scene of Vermithor's head behind Rhaenyra. I mean, otherwise, I'd say probably that Sea Smoke and Syrax showdown, or face to face. But
that's a good one. We are almost there, guys. I appreciate all of you. So then we're back to King's Landing. Love this image again. The rays of light coming through. Fantastic. Aegon is talking with Jasper and Larys, and they do mention a line that Tywin Lannister is having issues because the Beesberries have took up arms against them. Now, in the book, it is believed that Lord Alan Beesbury is still alive, because the story doesn't get out that Criston Cole smashed his face into the table in that first season. In that season, and it is believed that Larys put all of those people that betrayed King Viserys into the dungeons, and that's where they still reside. So it is now believed in the show that the Beesburys are going against the Lannisters because now they've found this out, that Lord Beesbury is dead. So that little conversation was a little nugget that you have to listen very carefully for, because all you hear in the background is dragon, there's a dragon out. Aemond hears it and is like, what's going on? And then boom, he's on a horse. And Mitchie last week was all in my DMs. Why is he on a horse? What's going on? Why is he on a horse? What's going on? And I was like, Mitchie's probably just riding to Vhagar, which is what he did here. But there was 2 scenes last week with Aemond on a horse, and we only got the one here. So stay tuned, because there could be another one with Aemond on a horse. Why would he be on a horse when he's got the biggest motherfucking dragon on the planet? Is another question. And then we get this. Okay, it's cool. Ulf, is he drunk still? What's going on? Why are you doing this, bro? Why are you letting out all the secrets?
He's never done it before. Yeah.
And he wants to show everybody that he wasn't a liar, that he really was who he said he was, or all the people that doubted him and gave him beers in jest because he's just a fool. He was like, here's my dragon, bitches. Here I am. This is me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. You want to brag to everyone that's bought you the pint. Yeah. Oh, look, I was telling the truth all along. Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's an absolute whack-ass move, and you really shouldn't have done it. You should have spoken to Rhaenyra first.
But Mitchie's comment's right. He's going to be the first one who falls off his dragon.
Probably. He's going to need a seatbelt.
Falls off.
It would be pretty hilarious, wouldn't it, if he did go to war? That would be hilarious. Another fantastic image of Aemond on a horse. Love that image.
In that scene when they're at the table talking, is that when they say that another dragon possibly took flight, or was that later?
Yes, they do. Yeah, no, they also say that Daeron has took to flight. Yeah, thanks for catching that. Yeah. They say that Daeron and his dragon Tyraxes, Tessarion. Yeah. Daeron and Tessarion, the blue magic dragon. He has taken flight, so we should see something maybe the end of this season, or maybe going forward into season 3. Who knows? Be interesting to see. I don't know if the dragon is driving there or Ulf is. Yeah, exactly. Very good point.
Ulf didn't know either. That's the bad part.
Yeah, Ulf, like, whoa.
It is the.
I would so love to be on a dragon. It is, yeah.
Never ending. Woohoo!
I don't think I actually got that in this week. Damn it. We have
the better one though, Milky, is there's a Peter Griffin on Falkor, and he's so heavy, he just drags him into the ground. He goes, yeah. So I'll send you that one. Definitely.
I find the memes funny. I'll just let you know now. I've probably seen 3 episodes of Family Guy in my entire life, and American Dad, and all the others. Vhagar is in a parking lot outside because Vhagar can't fit in the dragon pit. Way too big. I don't think you'd want to be in there with her. I bet she smells like old shoe leather. Like, I bet she stinks.
I guarantee it.
Oh no. And then here, I said it last night on the quick live stream. This is the second and only time in the House of Dragon history that Aemond shows fear. You see fear in his face when he is down in the dragon pit, and we see the only sighting of Elena's dragon, Dreamfire, when she breathes fire and knocks him onto his arse, and he's a kid. And that he shows fear then, and then again here he shows fear because he realizes he can't go and ride into what he's about to go ride into. Because if he did, it would have been the end of him and Vhagar for sure. That 5-6 dragons all against him, even without Daemon's Caraxes helping. Like, I think all of those dragons would probably be able to take down Vhagar. So very interesting that he still has control a little bit of Vhagar. Like, Vhagar wanted to go and go and fight, and he had to argue with her and say no, like turn around, like, you know, flee Vhagar, flee.
But I wonder if his fear came from his unknowing of whether he can control Vhagar or not. Because if Vhagar wanted to go, he's along for the ride. Mm-hmm. But he has shown that he's lost control of Vhagar in the past with Luke. So in this moment, the fear might have been that he was afraid he couldn't control Vhagar to get him to turn back. But
Could
when
be.
he did, he rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, I like it. I wonder where we're going to go next week. We're going to see
Fidel, that's a
Cole.
good point too.
Damon had to look back to see if he had dragons following after he'd turned back. Yeah. No, I think he had enough with today's thumbnail, guys. I mean, yeah, that's the end scene is today's thumbnail with me.
So
And
good.
Cyrax and Vermithor and Silverwing on the tips of the castle at the top. And again, thank you HBO for another angle, because I didn't remember this angle in the show.
No.
We have this angle straight on with the castle behind, but we don't see this one.
No.
So yeah, another cool image that they provided us. What a way to end it, though, right, guys? What a way to end this scene, to go into the finale. So good.
This was,
What do you feel about it? Yeah, how do you feel about this finale scene?
I mean, again, going back to the watching with earbuds or headphones, that the way the dragon sounded, so Cyrax is up front, right, and it's obviously loud and in your face, but then that guttural growl,
Visceral growl, yeah.
yeah, just nasty growl in the back was, I mean, that's so powerful.
Yeah, I completely agree. Fidel, Emma Darcy is the MVP of this episode. Yeah, okay, I'd give you that. I'd say that or Hugh Hammer. Close second with Hugh Hammer. Just loved it though. Yeah, these scenes are fantastic. And I lied to you guys. I said 100 slides. It's only actually 96. That is the final slide within 2 hours of the live stream. So we have gone through the episode. Fantastic episode. If anybody has any questions regarding the episode itself, would like me to try and answer it the best of my ability, I will. Okay, but let's talk about next week, because I'm stressed and Jeremy is threatening to watch in another room. Mitchie, I was going to say I don't know how to deal with married life, but you guys aren't married. I don't know. just force him to watch it with you. Is it? I don't know. Why are you going to watch it in another room, Jeremy?
Because she's going to, number one, she's going to lose her mind, stressing out about what's going to happen before she knows what's going to happen. And then as it's going on, she's going to be just nonstop talking about what's going on, and it's going to just rile her up. And then after it's over, it's going to be this utter anger and disappointment that now I've got to wait 2 years. Like, I don't want any part of any of that. Not 1, 2, or 3. I'm gonna need her. I'm gonna give her a Xanax before we watch it. I think something.
Yeah, I don't have anybody to rant to. That's why I come on the live streams and I do it. Yeah, I don't know how to help you with that one, Mitchie. It's something we all have to deal with. It's something we all have to go through. The loss of House of the Dragon and the wait. But all I say is, look how quick we got to this season. I know it felt like a long time, but now that we're in the thick of it, it wasn't that long of a time to get to here. Like, we're here now and we're enjoying it. And you can always rewatch it back. Now you've got another 8 episodes to go on top of the first 10 that we had. We've got 18 fantastic episodes. You can watch them back. And I'm still going to be here every Monday night to be able to help you fill that fix with Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. When you need that hit, I'm going to be here on a Monday night to get that hit. So, yeah, it won't be as hard of a hope to get to it, because we're still going to be here doing this kind of stuff. And if you want to have Mitchie, you are part of my council, so you have more say than others. If you want me to do an episode on talking just about Helena, consider it done. If you want an episode talking about just Mitchie's theories, consider it done. We can do these kind of things. We've got 2 years. Charles, I saw that smirk. I wasn't looking at Charles. Yeah, we can get it done. So, and that goes for everybody in the chat, not just Mitchie. If you want certain stuff done and certain videos done.
She is Lady Commander of the King's Guard, so she carries a heavy sword. Be careful, Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is Lady Commander of the King's Guard. Oh my God, yes, Helena Targaryen, please. Okay, I know Corey would love that one as well. Corey has messaged me today some very heartfelt messages about Corey, and certain things that Charles doesn't know because Charles hasn't watched the trailer for next week. So we're not going to talk about those things right now. But next week we will have some talks with Helena. It's going to be very interesting.
I think it would be fun to hear the story. I think it'd be fun to hear the differences between, like, once the season wraps up, like this is who Helena was in the book, this is who she was in the show, and the vast different characters that they were. Or I mean, the book might not take very long, but yeah.
So everything in season 2 so far is only taken from 20 lines of dialogue in a book. 20 lines is all of season 2.
It's crazy.
Like the whole the last 4 episodes have been about dragon seeds. So, that's like one chapter. Jace goes out, calls for dragon seeds. Jace says he will give them lands and titles. People line an orderly queue. Hugh claims dragon. Ulf claims dragon. That's all you get.
Right.
You don't get any detail and any backstory. You don't get like Ulf climbed around and rode in horse and dragon piss, and then it happened. It was Ulf claimed Silverwing. Hugh claimed Vermithor. That's it.
Yeah, I've been amazed by the lack of detail and just the matter of fact of this happened as I started reading.
Yeah. Fire and Blood is a book, and it's like a Wikipedia page that's being read to you. That's what Fire and Blood is. If you want the story and the back history and all that kind of stuff, Game of Thrones is the story for you, because that gives you POV, that gives you character development, that gives you all that. Jeremy, did you get my joke? Because Charles did.
I said yes, I got it. I got it. Okay. I didn't warrant it a smirk.
Yeah, I shouldn't watch the trailers. No, you shouldn't, Richie. You shouldn't watch them. They'd probably help you each week. You wouldn't be so on the edge of your seat waiting for things to happen.
Yeah, because the funny thing is like, I don't think we knew there were trailers after the credits until like 2 episodes ago, or maybe 3, maybe 2. I think it was 2. Anyway, the point is that we watched that whole show and were blown away by it, and then watched the trailer, and then all we could talk about was the trailer. Like, the show didn't even happen. Now I got it. It's all about what's going to happen next. So yeah, we don't need to watch trailers.
Yeah,
I did make her watch them.
Yeah, I kind of do. Every as soon as the episode's ended, I go over to the YouTube channel, and there's usually 4 videos to watch. There's a podcast that you can listen to, which is usually an hour and a half long, that has a character from that episode that's talking with Jason Concepcion. Always a very, very good podcast. And then you have like behind the scenes, you have the house that the dragons built, and then you have a couple of other little things. I'm going to do a series on those after the show is finished. So like all of the episodes of how the dragon was built, I'm doing reaction videos to, and you'll be able to watch along with me on screen. We'll have conversations about all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, we're not going to miss a smallest detail. We're going to be here. Fidel says that the show gives us more details that the book doesn't have, which is true.
Yeah.
Completely true. And that's what I like about it. It's a very unique take on, you can have your opinion from the book, you can have your opinion on the show, and they kind of work together. Not many series can still do that, or even can do that ever. So I give them credit. I love it. Right, guys, 2 hours and 12 minutes. We're going to get out of here in the next 30 minutes, or the next 20 minutes if we can.
See some memes.
Fidel says it's like me being in Hall H while Robert Downey Jr. shows up as Doctor Doom. Nothing else mattered before that.
Right.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that. I don't know how to feel with Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom. The only thing I take from that is Marvel realized that Robert Downey Jr. could win an Oscar as a heel or a bad guy in Oppenheimer. So they thought, let's make him a heel or a bad guy in Marvel so that he can win an Oscar for us, because we can't really sink the ship that's already sunk. So I don't know. I'm going to hold my hands up and we'll see what happens, but I have no faith whatsoever. The fact that they said this is the best actor in the world, and then he took his helmet. How much of a big ego do you need to be introduced like that?
Probably huge.
Yeah. And if you didn't know, Charles, I didn't know if you know that, but Robert Downey Jr. came out on stage and said he was Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
I'm not happy with it.
It's money for him. That's all it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do have meme of the week. We do have a little jingle.
Tonight.
Why didn't it stop playing?
Tonight.
absolutely love that song. And I want to have Alicent grinding to that song. It would be a good one.
I think that's Allison that grunts in that middle of that song.
Yeah, I think it is. Now you're going to make me do it again just because I want to hear it again. Does she? Yeah.
Tonight.
Yep,
Yeah, there is a mode. Yeah, that was her.
That was definitely Allison.
We have Team Black and we have Team Green. This is now the poster for the memes. Again, guys, if anybody would like to join my Buy Me a Coffee, there will be a link in the chat at the end of the live stream. £5 a month gets you early access to Meme of the Week and the slideshows and all sorts of extra cool goodies. So check it out if you are so inclined. Caraxes, after he saw Damon finally coming out of a creepy castle, talking to a woman, walking around for a while, then went back into the castle for 3 days. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Bruh.
As long as their rider is alive, dragons cannot bond with another person. That means that Laenor Velaryon has officially died off screen. And that's why it made it into the memes. Because why? Why make that decision to not kill him and show him riding off into the sunset if you're not going to pay it off in a second season? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Who's feeding his dragon? Who is feeding Caraxes? That's a very valid point and a very valid question. I don't know who's feeding Caraxes. Somebody is. It's probably Alice, and I don't know what she's giving him.
She's giving him Billy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, Mitchie.
What happened to the guy who was supposed to be checking on Damon?
It
Yeah.
took for several weeks to get there. Remember? Rhaenyra
yeah.
said, yeah.
Yeah, he's not arrived yet.
Good question. Yeah. Caraxes ate him.
I mean, Jace flew to. I guess he didn't fly, did he?
Cole was also sent in episode 6 to Harrenhal, and he's not arrived yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Cole
Cole
probably
was sent.
left and got lost.
Oh yeah. Cole's probably, I don't know, fingering a goat in a woods. Probably knowing him, he's a weirdo.
Billy.
I don't know. Billy, yeah, exactly. Harrenhal is broke ass. Harrenhal is broke ass. Joke. I agree, Fidel. He left before Cole. He did leave before Cole, and he's technically closer than Cole because Dragonstone is closer to Harrenhal than King's Landing. So yeah, Mitchie, you have a very good point. We'll be sending letter to HBO to clarify.
I'll send a crow.
Yeah, here's a collage. Alison. Just drinking wine, breathing. Melos is like, Your Grace. Oh, not again. She's on the floor pissed. I'm fine. But where is the nearest lake?
Unrelated, but where's the nearest lake?
It should have been me crying. Yeah, I love it. I want to clarify, this was what Mitchie sent. I'm sure this came from Mitchie. I want to clarify that if anything happens to this baby dragon, I will burn down HBO Max offices. I swear by the old gods and the new.
It looks like a skivvy snack for Cannibal.
It does.
Yep. Rhaenyra says that I need dragon riders, and Sea Smoke is like, I know a guy.
Got this.
I know a dude. I got this. On the left here, we had how Rhaenyra got her groove back. We have Ray Targaryen, Missaria, and Cyrax. And then we have Jason looking going, I've already got 3 dads. I don't need 2 moms.
Oh, that's too good.
On the left here, we have Prince Regent Aemon Targaryen visiting Aegon in his bed. Like, hiya! Like the Joker and Two-Face. And then on the right here, we have Daemon in season 1 and Daemon in season 2. Badass, hanging out, and then depressed, or what have I done with my life?
Facts.
Fidel, I love that you laugh at these because you send me these all week, so you know what's coming. But yeah, I guess you don't know which ones I'm going to choose to show. So yeah, I get it. Here, the classic office scene.
Oh boy, let me love
And then,
you.
Let me love you, chasing him. Aemond, as soon as he got back to King's Landing this episode, was like, damn, I need a cigarette. That was crazy. You riding off on a dragon. And then here we have Rhaenyra saying, who the hell are you? And Adam goes to speak. Hi, my name is Adam, but then gets shut up. No, this is Lenore 2. Shut up, Lenore 2. The adults are talking. Just stand there and look pretty. Rhaenyra sent a letter. And it was, I don't need you.
Oh, I love it.
This image on the right here is of Leo Ashton. Leo Ashton is the boy that lost the eye. He is the Aemond actor that I met at Comic-Con. This is an actual post that he shared for his birthday last week. The actual family in Ireland sent him an actual pig. And it's the Pink Dread. If anybody knows, the Pink Dread is the one that he got bullied for. Called it the Pink Dread. So they actually sent Leo Ashton a pig, which was very hilarious. Here, I don't know if anyone else got this, but I did. As soon as I seen it. Quasimodo and this guy. Instantly. I wasn't Quasimodo, you guys would have known that, but I guess he's a Disney character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitchie had a parallel for him as well, and I don't remember who it was, so I'm sure she'll say.
Quasimodo is one of my favorite Disney characters and well underrated. Nobody talks about him much. Yeah, Fidel, I made this one up myself. This one wasn't sent to me. I seen that guy and I was like, that's Quasimodo. Not Hunchback of Notre Dame. I said he looked like the guy from 300. Okay. Yeah. Here we have the most badass captain in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. Yet we haven't seen one scene of him on a ship.
True.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah.
And then on the right here, the other day, 1 day ago, it was National Gorgeous Grandma Day. And I'm just saying, Alison's 34, but she's got grandkids. She's a grandma. Just saying. She's a pretty hot grandma.
She's
the Hunchback guy. Yep. Aemond visiting Aegon.
Yep.
from Kill Bill.
Oh my.
We have your daddy, your daddy, your daddy, your mommy, and you.
there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra used Uber Eats to start a riot. Yes, she did. And then we have all the dragons like, yeah, that's right, run home, you little bitch. Dusty old hag. Hey, what's up, Rhaegar? You want that smoke? The dragons have got like attitude now. And then my favorite meme of the week was this one at the end, which Jeremy made and sent to me yesterday. Season 2, episode 7, 20 out of 10. No headset Milky, 100 out of 10. I want to thank all of you for watching this week's breakdown and council meeting. Please reconvene here in the same place in 7 days. What is dead may never die. Please check out my Buy Me a Coffee at Ryan Milky. Thank you for watching. This has been Meme of the Week 7. I want to thank Fidel, everybody in chat, but especially Fidel. You're a massive component to this Meme of the Week. Like, my phone goes off constantly. Fidel tagged you in this. Fidel tagged you in that. Fidel tagged you in this. And it's amazing to see every single week. And I love it. Yeah, and even more people are doing it now. You know, Jeremy sent me one at the end of the episode that got included. I know you sent me another one, which was Foul Call, which you must have sent that in actual DM and not the group DM, because I think I just went to one place to get some stuff.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it just that's too funny. Those guys.
I don't know.
Him riding that dragon was just. I got a good kick out of that. Yeah,
I agree, and I do have something I want to show for an upcoming live stream. We have Lego. We have Viserion, Game of Thrones, actual Viserion, and you turn the handle dial thing, and his wings flap. And yeah, nice. It looks pretty cool. This is off Temu. If anybody's interested, you can get it yourself. It was only like 17 UK pounds, which is about 22 American dollars on Temu. Yeah, it's actual Game of Thrones. So yeah, it's cool. But I don't know what this is. Michael Jackson something. I don't know. Michael Jackson Lego, something like that. That's the noise you make when you got. You know, it's stupid Lego. Yeah, we're going to do a live stream on that. It won't be a Bricks and BS. Bricks and BS is still around, Headless and BOP, but we'll probably just do a Ryan Milky live stream with that one. Yeah, if anyone else has got any Lego and they want to come and build, they're more than welcome to. But that's about it, guys. Let's go back to normal. I am going to kick the slides off the studio. I'm going to click the memes off the studio, and I'm going to bring this back So I want to thank my Hand of the King, Sir Charles, my Grand Maester, Sir Jeremy, LSAPC, my Master of Coin, Sir Francis. Even though you weren't here this evening, you were missed. Your seat is still safe. You've been here for 6.5 weeks. I'm not going to punish you for 1 week. There are 3 horsemen on the screen right now, and one of our mottos is life always comes first. So I completely get it. And it's honestly no issue, you know? I'm sure you'll reach out and let me know. I want to thank my Master of Laws, Sir Fidel himself, for the meme provider, for everything. I am going to give you guys some little fun games to play around with. Maybe Fidel can come with 2 or 3 laws that he can introduce to the stream. Might be interesting. Like, everybody has to hit the like button, or everybody has to start a conversation with, you know, Your Grace, or something like that. Could be funny. Could be interesting how we could do those kind of things.
I'll pull up some.
Go ahead.
I'll pull up some history. You can just scroll at the bottom of the screen during the live. So
exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea. I also want to thank our future Master of Ships. When that person is appointed, I will let you know in due course. I will reach and convene with my council, and we will come up with a name as quick as possible, hopefully for next week. I also would like to say thank you to my Master of Whisperers, Corey. I'm not sure if you're still here, Corey. If you are, I really appreciate it. I know it's late for you. It's 4:25 in the morning, and I did start this live stream an hour later than usual. I honestly don't think you are here, but if you are, I really appreciate it. And even if you're not, I really appreciate it because I know it's late. I'm sure you'll catch the rest of it tomorrow. So thank you, Corey, for being my Master of Whispers. And also I would like to thank my Lady Commander of the Kingsguard, Lady Mitchie herself, for having the craziest mind in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon history. And some of the stuff, like I dare to even look at my phone to the side of me right now. I dare to even look, because I'm sure there's an essay. I'm sure of it, and I can't wait to read it. I absolutely love all of it. Yeah, there is. There's two messages. Let's go. But yeah, as it says there, guys, on the black screen, as your first task as my council members, I put it to you to select my final council member as Master of Ships. This position will be forever selected by the members of my council. All seats are subject to change up until during of season 3, episode 2, where I may switch things up if we don't have the same following, or if we have new people there, or we've grown so much exponentially that we need to have more people honored on the show. But just know that I'm going to be putting some work behind the scenes into an intro. Season 3, I would like a tapestry intro, thanking all of my maesters and all of my council. I think a tapestry intro would be really, really cool, a self-made one. So stay tuned for that. But there'll be nothing special for next week because it's just the finale. Or is it? That's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned, guys. Next week could be really, really fun. That's all I'm saying. I might not even be here. Somebody else might be hosting, but we'll see. Yeah, thank you, council members. I really hope that everybody is happy with their seats. I hope that everybody's having a great time still. I hope I'm still being able to provide the content that you all love and came for in the first place. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. Jeremy, Charles, thank you both for joining me. It's been my pleasure to have you both on my council and on episode 7 of House of the Dragon. Any last words? Please feel free. Anthony Blaze, I knew you were fucking going to say that.
You knew he was going to come in at some point.
I was waiting for it. Yeah.
Has he been lurking?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys the last word of the stream. Charles, you want to go first?
Just thank you for everyone being here. It's been a lot of fun. Love the memes. Love all the slides. Thank you, HBO, for everything you've done. Thank you, Ryan, for everything you've done. And I just can't wait till next week. I live for Sunday nights now. Christy can attest to this. At 7 o'clock, I said, it's almost Dragon time. So you need to go in there so I can have the couch and be by myself. So, because she doesn't watch it with me. So, yeah. Me and the cat, we sat there and watched Dragons.
Nice. Before we cut to Jeremy and the final words, you all know I've got Lucas here. I've been looking after my friend's kid. He came in today from playing with his friends, and I was watching episode 7 on the big TV, and he stopped in his tracks. Like, it was the point with Vermithor claiming Hugh. It was all the crazy stuff at the end. He stopped in his tracks, watched the entire thing, looked at me and went, I see why you like dragons, and then carried on to play on his Fortnite. Nice. And I was like, I am so proud. Like, yes.
What a
He's
moment.
playing with he doesn't care about what I do, but he said, I see why you like dragons. I was like, yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much. And then, yeah, he even listened. He even went to sleep before the live stream. I told him, I said, I'm talking about dragons at 2 o'clock and you need to be asleep. And he was. So, yeah, Amy, Stephen, if you're watching, Lucas has behaved. Fidel says, I'm already tagging you in memes, Milky. Oh, I know. Jeremy, you're always best at this than all of us. Do you want to take us out with some final words?
I just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody on this panel. But most importantly, I want to say, guys, let's give a huge shout out to this guy right here, the King, bend your knee to the King. The time and amount of time, effort, and work that he puts into this. Go buy him a coffee. You don't have to subscribe monthly even. Just go buy him a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/Ryan Milky 14. Yeah. And then go buy him a coffee because, if it weren't for his hard work and effort, we would not all be here today sitting at this council table and enjoying our time together. So Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, if anyone wants to buy me a coffee, feel free. The link will be in the description as soon as I get a chance to put it in there. And that's about it. Let's play a meme and then we'll get out of here. We'll play the meme and then we'll play the outro. What about this one?
Where are my dragons?
Well, Hugh's got one. Oh, sorry.